Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly done right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company.
Congratulations to our University of Arizona men's basketball team. Hi, I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. Come join us this Saturday.
All right, got about 1 minute.
And half-price tater bomb appetizers alongside our delicious barbecue. Enjoy the game with fellow Wildcat fans and watch the excitement on our big screens. Enjoy great beer, great food, and a great game. Fork and Fire is your neighborhood smokehouse and grill. Join us at locations in Oro Valley and Catalina. Let's go, Arizona.
Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play. Get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play today. Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Air Conditioning and Plumbing.
All drains lead to the ocean. But when your drain is clogged, the ocean comes to you. Call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices. GoodfellasAC.com.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm happy to announce I'm staying at Arizona. We've been able to get some things done the past couple days. North Carolina is an amazing place. Michael Jordan, the phone call never did happen, so I'll put that to rest. But, I mean, come on. I mean, we all idolized MJ. And, I don't how many hours I watched that Come Fly With Me video. With that being said, though, I made a decision that, my Michael Jordan is Steve Kerr. And I'm proud to be an Arizona Wildcat.
And Michael said, Phil, I don't feel real comfortable in these situations. So maybe we ought to go in another direction. Why don't we go to Steve? So I thought to myself, well, I guess I got to bail Michael out again.
We love it there. I mean, literally, my parents have a house there. My wife's parents moved there. My wife's sister moved there. All our kids are there. We have grandkids now. I mean, the roots are getting pretty deep. And you know what? You can grow roots in the desert. Trust me.
Tommy Lloyd ain't going nowhere. He's staying in Tucson for the duration to keep coaching your Arizona Wildcats. How about that? But did you really think he was going to leave? Come on now. Come on. Well, many of you did think he was going to leave. But that's not the biggest problem I have. The problem I have is that we continue to define ourselves by who's coaching our team. We got to get away from that mentality. This is a fabulous university that we have at the University of Arizona. It's a university that stood for over 100 years. And like Tommy said last week, there's eventually going to be another head coach of this Arizona Wildcats basketball program. This is a program. And a program should never be about one person. It's about what's been built. Starting with Pop McHale back in the day. All the other coaches, Coach Inc., who ran this program, helped build the foundation of Arizona basketball. Fred Snowden in the 1970s got the thing going when the Wildcats first moved into McHale Center and became that place that nobody wants to change the name about. Nobody wants to leave or build a new building. And then Lute Olson came to town and cemented it by taking the program to 4 Final Fours. 4 Final Fours. Thank you, Luke Walton. And then Sean Miller came in and continued it with 3 Elite Eight appearances and Sweet 16s. And yeah, he fell short of getting to the Holy Grail where we sit here today. And then Tommy Lloyd took over. And outside of 3 years in Sacramento, where I had to spend St. Patrick's Day because there was no second basketball game, he has taken it now back to the Final Four level after going to 3 Sweet 16s in his first 5 years. We've got a program. And yes, we love Tommy Lloyd, and we want him to be the head coach of this team, and we didn't want him to leave. But a program should never be about one person. And that's the mentality I think that we as fans of this team need to get away from. If Tommy Lloyd had left, so be it. Congratulations. You bettered yourself. You came here. You kept this thing going, and now you got a better opportunity. People are going to have better opportunities to go other places. But the program, the university that we all love is always going to be there. Always going to be there. And this program is so strong from the men who have built it to this point, including Tommy Lloyd, that it's never going to go away. You'll always find a great steward for this program. And we are fortunate that that steward, or that boss, as I tweeted earlier today, will continue to be Tommy Lloyd. Welcome back to the Final Four here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We are at the Indiana Convention Center. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. We want to hear your feelings about what transpired today. Our guy, Pat Forty, we had him on the pregame show 2 weeks ago in San Diego, asked the question that sparked the answer that Tucson and Southern Arizona and all of Arizona, because we own the state, had been waiting to hear, and that's that Tommy Lloyd was not going to leave Tucson and go to Chapel Hill. So I want to hear your thoughts today on that. First, I want to get the thoughts of J.W. Maddenback. J.W., is it you and me, or is it you, me, and David again today? I have no idea.
Well, David is here, but I don't have to turn his mic on if you don't want to. I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah, I can't see you guys, so I never really know exactly who's with me today.
We are both here.
Okay, so your guys' thoughts on Tommy Lloyd's decision not to leave Arizona.
I'm happy for the skeptic side of the fan base. I mean, you talk about the shell shock of 25 years of close misses, and I think that's what you feel. Tommy talked about that more recently, is when the crowd feels anxious when Arizona is starting to go the other side of a bad run, and they start biting their fingernails. And it's really reactionary to a big positive run on the court that the Arizona fans in McHale, and that's kind of the sentiment I feel you've gotten this last week. I mean, personally, I've said it many times. I was 99.9% sure that Coach Lloyd would be in Tucson for the long term, and that's mostly because he's a small-town guy. He spent 20 years on the bench waiting for the right opportunity. I don't know that he may have ever left Coach Few's side if not for his respect for the Arizona program And as much as North Carolina is one of those 2-3 best programs of all time, right? There's no doubt that you look at the names. I mean, Michael Jordan, Vince Carter alone, right? But, I mean, knowing Tommy and everything he's ever said about the old Pueblo and what Tucson means to him and the Tucson fan base. And this week, DK, what has Tommy said? He said, I can't wait for us to win so I can get more clout and use that clout to improve my own personal standing in the world. No. What he said was, it doesn't mean much to me, but I'm really happy for the Arizona fan base. He said that exclusively this week, how happy he is for the Arizona fan base. So personally not surprised, and I'm happy for all those fans out there who've been losing a lot of sleep, because I know that the Tucson community and the Arizona fan base love Tommy Lloyd. He's all about the right things. He says all the right things. He's true to his word. He's a real deal. He's the real same person every single time he's up there on the podium. So it's really easy to get behind a guy like that. And when you add most wins of any coach in their first 5 years, trip to the Final Four, all those things, it's just a great day for Tucson.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest thing is, again, the best part about this is seeing that he's going to be sticking around, and not just for, maybe a tweet. No, this was a very long contract extension. I believe it was 5 years was the extension on the contract.
The max any public employee in Arizona can sign is 5. So that's why you'll see a guy get to his contract might be signed for 5. 2 years later, it's 5. 2 years later, it's 5. They always keep it at 5.
Yeah. So the fact that it's a 5-year deal, but DK, I'm going to go ahead and have a little bit of a contradiction to what you were saying about how a name is not synonymous with the program or things like that. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it is. It can be. And that's the biggest part about it, is that you need to have a name that shows stability. Let me ask you this. What do you think of when you think of the name Jim Boeheim?
I just literally 3 minutes ago looked up the record of Syracuse after Boeheim retired.
Yes.
It's 48-49.
Yes, exactly. Jim Boeheim, synonymous with the University of Syracuse. Mike Krzyzewski, synonymous with Duke. Dean Smith, synonymous with North Carolina. And these are guys that stayed there for almost 30-plus years with each of their universities. And let's think about this, too. We talk about the Big East and how important that conference was for basketball. No, how important were the coaches in the Big East that made people pay attention to it? We don't think about Georgetown anymore as much as we should, because John Thompson isn't there at the end of the bench. You don't have Nolan Richardson at the end of the bench for Arkansas. Yeah, John Calipari is a great coach, and I'm not going to ever say anything wrong about John Calipari other than the fact that I've always been very skeptical about his team.
Sure.
But Nolan Richardson is the guy you think of when you think of Arkansas basketball.
You know who I think of, DK, is Cheney.
Yes.
Because Temple used to be a really, really hard out, and I don't know what they've done since it. Hey, by the way, DK, we do have a very famous alumni who'd like to chime in real quick.
Okay. Well, let's go to the phones.
What's happening, guy? What's up, DK? DA, Blitz. Hey, I am so excited about Tommy Lloyd coming back to University of Arizona, and I tell you why. Because, as a former football player, alum, love football and everything, but this is good for the whole university. This is absolutely great for our enrollment, I think, because people are going to want to come here because Tommy Lloyd's here. I'm telling you, it's just going to help the university all around, our community, and it also helps our football team. People are going to identify University of Arizona and thinking about Tommy Lloyd, and also with Brent Brennan. That combination of those two coaches is going to bring a lot of prestige to the University of Arizona. It's going to help everybody in the athletic department. And I'm so happy that Tommy Lloyd, because believe me, I was growing hair thinking about that he was gonna leave and go somewhere else.
And for those of you that
it was really worrisome.
For those of you that have never seen Glenn Howe, you would be impressed to know that he has no hair. So if he's growing hair, then that's a bad thing.
Hey guys, there is data to support this. It's an 8 to 10% enrollment bump for universities the year after they reach a Final Four.
Absolutely. And we're down on enrollment here at the University of Arizona. So it's going to help us all around, and he's a pillar in our community. I'll tell you a short story about Tommy. When he first got here, the day he got hired, was the weekend that we were having our alumni football thing during the spring ball. So I'm at the top of the graduate, and all these football players are there, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I saw this guy walk in, and I looked at him, and I was like, man, I think that's our new basketball coach. I think that's Tommy Lloyd. He comes walking in with nobody from the administration around him. He comes walking in, and he's at our happy hour, and I go, Tommy Lloyd? And he goes, yeah. I go, dude, congratulations. Welcome to the university. I go, why are you here? This is a football thing. He goes, I just wanted to check it out. I wanted to check out the vibe. I wanted to see. And that to me meant that this guy is all in, okay? For him to do that, and he didn't have an entourage of administration, people with him introducing to people. He was talking to everybody. He was just talking to everybody. And that really showed me some of the character of Tommy Lloyd. And you could ask him that story about him on that first day, man. It was awesome to see him there, and that's where I knew that this guy was a Wildcat.
Glenn Howe giving me my next DK with TL. I'll have to ask him about that.
Ask him. It was awesome that he came to that little happy hour that we had up at the Graduate. So it was great, and I think it's going to be great for the University of Arizona, and I'm so excited about our game tomorrow.
That is a great story, Glenn Howe. That is a great story to hear how when he first got here that he was trying to make sure he was going to become a fabric of this university community.
Absolutely.
Where are you watching the game tomorrow, Glenn?
I'm what's that?
Where are you watching the game tomorrow?
I'm watching it in my house with nobody around except my wife, and that's it. Because I don't want to talk to nobody, and she's going to tell me to sit down, because that's what I usually do when the Arizona Wildcats play. I'm in front of my 85-foot screen, and she says, why don't you just sit down? And I'm going to be standing up watching the game.
There you go. You'll be like our guy Doug. He doesn't want anybody around when he's watching his Wildcats.
That's right. And I'm going to be right in front of it, right up close, and I can just hear her now telling me to sit down. So it's awesome. I'm excited about this game, and our Cats are I think are going to be victorious and move on to the next game.
There you go. Glenn, appreciate you calling and sharing that story.
And I'll take the hoodie.
Okay, I'll have to. They had one 2XL. I'll have to see if they still have it when I go back over there.
Oh man, I wanted the hoodie. I do. I just saw that when you texted me that, and I said, "Oh my god!" And if you need an extra little bit on that Zelle, let me know.
I got you, brother. No problem. I got you.
All right. Okay.
Glenn Howe, ladies and gentlemen,
U
of A football class of 1985, as excited as anybody about the news that Tommy Lloyd is staying at the university. All right, when we come back, we're going to hear from Tommy Lloyd. We talked to fans over at the arena about the announcement that Tommy was staying. We'll hear from them as well. We'll hear from several of the players who also talked about the fact that the coach is not going anywhere. It's DK on the Sports Tip. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. We are at the Indiana Convention Center here at the Final Four. This is Wildcats Radio 1290 Cricket, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Campbell and Skyline and Campbell. Crash at McGee and La Cholla and McGee. 22nd Street and Swan, a 4-car crash slowing at the intersection. Swan Road and 22nd Street. 57, the overnight low for tomorrow, 88, partly cloudy skies, and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
In Tucson, a lot of people make their living on construction sites, on the road, or working in warehouses across town. If you're injured at work, you have rights. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy? By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaska vacation.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaska vacations make me happy.
Alaska vacations make our customers happy. Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important. It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town. And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year. William, what are you doing now? I've never seen this before. Is he? I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Can you feel unusual hot spots on the floor? Do you hear the sound of running water when everything is off? These can be signs of a hidden water leak. Hi, I'm Jake Cummings, owner of Cummings Plumbing, Heating,
Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're coming to you live from the Indiana Convention Center here in Indianapolis. It is the Final Four, the night before the Final Four. Arizona and Michigan in the second national semifinal. Illinois and UConn will tip things off at 3:09. J-Dub?
Final Four Eve?
Yeah, Final Four Eve. There you go. Well, let's just put it this way. Illinois fans have taken over this town.
Yeah.
It was like if you had to judge at the arena today, they had way more people there than everybody else. They have absolutely taken over Indianapolis. It's probably going to be like a home game for them tomorrow against UConn, so we'll see how the Huskies handle that because the Illinois orange is everywhere here in Indianapolis.
I think if you have a big fan base and you compound that by not having been to the Final Four or, think about what happened last year in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Right? Indiana had like 80% of the fans because not only had they not been there in a while, they'd never been there.
Yeah.
And there was nobody thought they would be there. So, yeah, I mean, Illinois is, I think, the one team out of these four. As great as they've been playing, DK, I think if you look at these four teams at the beginning of the season relative to the end of the season, Illinois is the one of those four that you might not have put directly into that Final Four. So their fans are over the moon. It's been 20 years for them as well, right?
It's funny you mentioned the Indiana thing because it's not as if Indiana men's basketball has forced those fans to travel that much. So that's why Indiana football fans made the trek out to the college football playoff.
Right.
It's not like the Illinois Fighting Illini have been winning the Illabuck over Ohio State a lot recently either. So they have to make this trip be the one that counts. So, hey, when one program starts to fall off, the other one starts to pick up, and certain fans, they know how to make advantage of it.
Three fan bases who are defined by their colors. Obviously, the Illini orange. You've got the maize and blue. You've got the bear down red. The Huskies, I don't know if they've ever defined themselves by a color, but maybe they can start. They've won a lot of national championships in this century, so in this decade specifically. So they probably do need to start defining themselves by a color, whether that's blue or something else.
You think like D. Brown and all those guys are going to be in the building?
I don't know.
Because
That'd
you
be
heard the
interesting.
story that the Fab Five is going to do a simulcast, and the Fab Five
right.
is going to be, basically doing play-by-play of the game tomorrow for the Michigan-Arizona game. So, I mean, there are some Illinois alumni who could probably get involved in that as well.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. So let's hear all of what Tommy Lloyd had to say today when he made his own announcement, broke his own news that he had a contract extension with the University of Arizona.
I'm happy to announce I'm staying at Arizona. We've been able to get some things done the past couple days. I really appreciate, President Garamella, John Arnold, and Desiree, for showing a real commitment to our program. And, Arizona basketball, you guys know what it means to me. And when I say it's a special place, that always comes from the bottom of my heart. I didn't want to make this entire Final Four about that because I'm just a small part of something much bigger. But on that same note, I'd also like to, let you know that North Carolina is an amazing place. I mean, it's a one of one. And, it's an honor to even be, considered for that job. And, the young kid, for me, the college basketball junkie, watching those games at home, never would have thought something like that could have happened to somebody like me. So North Carolina is a first-class organization, and I appreciate them for the way they've handled this. Michael Jordan, the phone call never did happen, so I'll put that to rest. But, come on. We all idolized, MJ. And, I don't how many hours I watched that Come Fly With Me video. And my kid grew up watching, his the movie he made. And it's amazing that, that opportunity was even, thought could be possible. With that being said, though, I made a decision that, my Michael Jordan is Steve Kerr, and I'm proud to be an Arizona Wildcat.
Congrats, Coach.
Thank you.
Hi, Tommy. Bruce Pascal, Daily Star in Arizona. Not to put you back too much on that, but you've been saying, this whole thing was a distraction for us, basically. But for you, behind the scenes, you said some things were going on. How was that process? How did you deal with it when you're getting ready for this?
Honestly, I've been full focus on our deal, and there are obviously people behind the scenes that were helping me and working with the administration, and this wasn't like meant to be like a leverage deal. I appreciate our administration, and I think we've made huge progress on what the vision for Arizona basketball can be. And I appreciate them getting behind it and kind of rallying behind it and investing in it. And, and it's not about me. It's about everyone in that identifies with that Block A. And to me, that's the driving force. And I've always told you, for me, is to be able to deliver for them, and kind of be a an entity that our community can rally around and feel good about. And I love being in the middle of that. So I'm thankful.
Tommy, sorry to ask you again, follow up, but are we talking? What are you talking about? Like rev share percentages, administrative support with NIL promotion? What does it? What did it here?
Well, what did it is it's where I wanted to be, and they wanted me to stay. That's the driving force behind everything. I mean, Bruce. I mean, rather than getting into specifics, to me, it's just a holistic approach. Like, there's not one thing anymore. Arizona basketball, needs to become a locomotive, and where everything surrounding it is pushing it forward. And to me, I mean, and that's not because of me. That's because of what was built before I came here. And it's my opportunity right now to kind of be the captain of the ship. But just getting everything, putting everything we have behind our program, and that starts. The number one thing that starts with is just energy and effort. That's it's not easy. It's not easy when you are trying to build a program or run an athletic department. I fully understand that. So just getting that alignment, and I think we've are taking big steps towards doing that.
Will Hicks Butler University, Tommy, this one's for you. What do you love about Arizona compared to any other program, university? What separates that from other programs?
Man, Arizona it's a special place for the right people. I look at our fan base and just I kind of laugh sometimes. I'm like, when I close my eyes, I think of an Arizona fan. There's lots of them, so don't just pigeonhole this into one. But I see this guy about my age that hasn't shaved in a few days. He's got a flat bill hat on, and he's wearing a jersey. I'm like, what 50-year-old dudes wear jerseys? You know who does? Arizona basketball fans do. And I love those guys, and I connect with those people. I mean, I honestly love the community of Tucson. I'm not a big city guy. I'm more of a country boy, and just love hanging out with my family and friends, and don't want to deal with traffic. And I think, Tucson gets an interesting rap. It's the little brother or whatever to Phoenix, and Phoenix is great. It's cool hanging out in Scottsdale, but people that live to choose in Tucson are living to choose there because they're a little bit different, and they love the things.
About 30 seconds.
And all those things resonated with me and connected with me, so yeah, we love it there. I mean, literally, my parents have a house there. My wife's parents moved there. My wife's sister moved there. All our kids are there. We have grandkids now. I mean, the roots are getting pretty deep. And you know what? You can grow roots in the desert. Trust me.
You can grow roots in the desert. Tommy Lloyd earlier today breaking his own news that he is going to stay here as the head coach at the University of Arizona.
And I can tell you from my personal experience, DK, that I was here when Kentucky came calling for Lloyd Olson.
Yeah.
And I heard all the pressers in the mid-'80s before Arizona went to their first Final Four. And Coach Olson, coming from a small town, North Dakota, like his story background is very similar in that Lloyd Olson embraced the old Pueblo and loved Tucson. And that's why Coach Olson was here and had so much success for so long. He never had that wanderlust. He was never looking at the grass is greener somewhere else. And listening to Coach Lloyd this last couple of weeks since the North Carolina job came open, I'm hearing a lot of the same stuff, DK. There's a genuine care factor for the fans of Arizona, for the population of Tucson, for Wildcat Nation. And that's not just words, Dragon Ball. That's not just a coach telling the fans what they want to hear. You can tell that's a genuine sentiment. He really means that. He's doing this for us. He's doing this for the longtime Arizona fans, and the person that just bought their first ever Block A t-shirt yesterday, just for that fan base alone and for the city of Tucson. It's so pure.
And the thing that is you can connect between the North Carolina job and the Arizona Wildcats job is that both of those communities are dead set on the success of the men's basketball program. North Carolina obviously has a very long history. You hear about it all the time. and the Arizona Wildcats have just as much of a long history in regards to the amount of big names that came from the U of A and the success in the postseason. Although it's been a long time since they've been in this position, it's still something that a lot of the town still holds on to very tightly. Now, here's the main difference. Tucson wants the team to succeed and wants to love the team. UNC expects to win and expects the coach to succeed. It's better to do it with a group that wants to join you on the success than one that demands you succeed. And that probably is another aspect of this whole thing that gets a little bit lost. There's an expectation at North Carolina that maybe for some coaches, you don't want to have to take the risk if you've got something good going in the spot you're in currently.
You think Mark Pope's having a good time right now?
No, not at all. Not at all, man.
All right, here's what Desiree Reed-Francois, we'll read you from the release that was put out earlier today. She says, Tommy Lloyd is the best coach in college basketball. We have a strong conviction in the future of Arizona basketball under his leadership. Our program's success this season, winning championships, competing on the sport's biggest stage, and excelling academically is a statement to the standard that he and his staff have established. He has recruited and developed student athletes of character who make a positive impact on our team, our campus, and our community. Tommy has strengthened our foundation while honoring the tradition that makes Arizona basketball one of the premier programs in the country, and we are thrilled that he will continue to lead this program at the highest level for years to come. And again, that's my point. That's my point is that and going back to just what you said there, J-Dub, I mean, as a community, we need to have more love for ourselves because in this place that we live in, and again, that's not to say that we didn't want him here, but also I like to think of it from the standpoint is like, well, if you don't want to be here, then don't be here, because we love this place, we love this university, and we will be at a high level regardless of who runs this program. That's my whole standpoint, is like we need to have more of a love for ourselves versus attaching ourselves to one or two people that are a part of who we are.
There's no doubt. What I will say is that I think the longtime fans have seen a lot of really close years. And that's not just basketball. What happened when Jed Fish took Arizona to a bowl game and beat one of the top 10 programs in America?
Right.
Arizona fans were over the moon. Then Nick Saban retired. Jed Fish decided to go to Washington. There was a cloud over Tucson, DK. And I think it's not so much like why not us as much as we were so close to just stringing together successful seasons. We've been waiting to get to this mountaintop for so long, so many years. How about the 20-game losing streak and all that? And it's obviously not the same on the basketball side because they've had success in the last 25 years. They've made, 5 Elite Eights and 12 Sweet 16s in the last 25 years? The thing is, they've been so close, and here we are, DK. How much have we talked about the last couple of weeks? Can they get to their first Final Four in 25 years? Well, they do, and then all the talks about the coach leaving. So I think that's what the gasp of the Arizona fan base in general was, that dread of, oh, no, Illinois is going to go on a run. Oh, no, some guy from Wisconsin is going to get hot. Like that whole thing in the back of the dread part of the fan's brain was clearing, was kind of coming to the surface again just on the heels of Jed Fish leaving after that success. And now here we are with Coach Brennan, having great success last year, and Coach Lloyd. And to me, I just look at the positives. I think personally, I knew Coach Lloyd would be committed long-term to Tucson. I know a lot of fans didn't have that faith, but now we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, now Coach Lloyd has turned down one of the 5 best jobs in America. We don't have to talk about this next year or the year after that or the year after that. So there's a kind of a deep calming breath from the fan base in general. And to me, the sentiment mostly is just because we just did this with Jed Fish. And now I think a lot of people are assured and happy that Coach Tommy Lloyd is going to be here for the long term.
There you go. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Want to hear your thoughts on that? You can call the show. You can text the show. I hope you got in on that sweet deal. I heard there was maybe a few more of those sweet deals left out there if you didn't get a chance to get one of those to the best place in Southern Arizona to not only get pizza, but ice cream, because, pizza and ice cream is about the best combination, although I don't eat pizza.
I was gonna say,
people
like,
tell me that
what's
it
the
is.
what's the pizza and ice cream equivalent for a person who doesn't eat dairy?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, well, I joke, but like, wasn't Italian ice? Didn't Italian ice come before ice cream?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I'll go down on a nice
Snow cone.
Italian ice. Yeah, I'm all about that, right there. Just throw me a little flavoring on some ice, and I'm all about that. A lot of summers in Philadelphia, but yeah, I heard there are a few of those Happy Joe's pizza and ice cream sweet deals still out there. So head on over to WildcatsRadio1290.com and get one of those before they are all gone. 25 TVs. You can head out there tomorrow and watch the game, and your kids can play, and you can hang out at the bar. All that good stuff. That happens. All right, much more coming up. We'll have reaction from the players. We'll have reaction from the fans here that were in Indianapolis. We caught up with a bunch of people and chatted with them. We'll have some of that reaction for you as well. We are also going to talk to the voice of the Michigan Wolverines, Brian Bush, a little bit later. We'll get his thoughts. Brody Dryden is going to join us from High Corbett Field, Game 2 of the 3-game series tonight. Sun Devils and Wildcats. ASU unfortunately got the win last night. So that's 2 wins in the 5-game series. If they win tonight, they wrap up the Territorial Cup Series point on the Wildcats. Game 2 tonight, Game 3 tomorrow night. Game 2 you will hear tonight right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. All right, Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With some slowing southbound I-19 frontage road at Irvington. Collisions, 22nd Street and Swan. That was an earlier multi-vehicle wreck there. Some slowing at the intersection. Also clearing stages, Skyline and Campbell, La Cholla and McGee. 57 the overnight low. Game day high tomorrow, 88 and 84 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
followed by the play-by-play coverage of the national semifinal between the Wildcats, the number 1 seed in the West, and the Michigan Wolverines, the number 1 seed in the Midwest. Longtime voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries. Analyst Ryan Hansen will have the call. And then we'll be back with you after the game, probably from around 9 until midnight, which will be 3 a.m. here in Indianapolis with your Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. 520-848-1290 is the number if you'd like to get in on the program today. Love to hear from you on everything that has transpired today. All right, we have spoken with a number of people here in Indianapolis about everything. I do want to read our guy K-Dub is watching the show as he always does on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you as always, K-Dub. He said, told y'all Tommy wouldn't leave. He loves Arizona, can accomplish every career goal here as he can at UNC. Only a bad AD could scare him away, but then she would need a new job. Desiree Reed-Francois wouldn't be welcomed anywhere in Tucson if she had chased away Tommy. Had Tommy left, she would have had to leave right behind him. I think the boosters and the fans also let the Arizona president know that it's Arizona and the basketball team that actually runs Tucson and the university. That is our guy K-Dub chiming in on the YouTube channel. You can chime in as well on any of our social media platforms. Also download our app, Wildcats Radio 1290. It is sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions, and we appreciate all of those folks over there for what they do in sponsoring that. So download the app and follow everything. And don't forget to download the Varsity app if you want to follow or be able to stream tomorrow's broadcast. Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen. Due to the regulations of Westwood One, we will not be streaming that tomorrow on any of our platforms. All right. I do believe, J-Dub, we have, let's go here. We have the 2 young ladies that I spoke with earlier here in Indianapolis, I believe.
Jessica and Tiffany.
Jessica and Tiffany, yes. Let's hear from Jessica and Tiffany, who came from Tucson out here to Indianapolis to see their Wildcats. They were dancing here at the top. That's why that music is playing. All right, ladies, I have to ask you, thoughts on Tommy Lloyd staying?
Oh, we already knew.
Hell
we all knew.
yes.
Because we are a culture.
Hell yes. Yes.
How nervous were you, though, that he might go to North Carolina?
Absolutely not.
No.
If anybody knows him, though.
I stand by him 100%.
Yeah, if you know him, you know who he is as a person. He was
guy.
never leaving.
What do you love most about this team?
Their character. The fact that they're, like, every single one of them cares about each other. Like, you could be sitting on the bench and you care more about the fact of how we do and how we are as a team than you being out there. That's what I love about it.
And what you see is what we are at home. This is what you see across the board.
My favorite player?
Hawaka.
Furries.
Yeah. Different reasons, though. Different reasons. Because of, like, the culture, the way that people are as people. The way they talk, they're just...
How did you guys get here? Was this a last-minute deal, or what was the plan?
Oh, yeah. We flew. I had to find those flights. It's not cheap.
Yeah, we flew out here. So, yep.
You guys are from Tucson?
Yes, we are.
We are.
Yeah.
Give me a final score.
Oh, no, I'm going to say that we're going to win by 6. 6.
It's going to be close. By 3.
I only think 2 3 points.
Yeah. It's going to be a good game. This is going to be the game. This is it.
What's your name?
Tiffany.
Jessica.
You guys have fun?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, hell yes.
Bear down, go Cats.
Bear down, go Cats.
All right, there you go. Jessica and Tiffany hanging out here at Indianapolis having a raucous good time.
Showing off their dance moves, too.
Yeah, if you want to see their dance moves, if you want to see Jessica and Tiffany's dance moves, head on over to our YouTube channel, Wildcats Radio 1290. Look for the video. Jessica and Tiffany from Tucson are stoked Tommy Lloyd is staying, and you can see them dancing to the music here in Indianapolis. So we'll hear from a few more fans that we caught up with as well. Let's get Toby. We have Toby Awaka. Let's get Toby Awaka's reaction to the Tommy Lloyd news.
I don't know, actually.
Okay, we have that Toby Awaka. We'll come back and we'll get Toby Awaka's reaction coming up a little bit later in the show. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Also coming up, we're going to hear from Jaden Bradley, the Arizona Wildcat point guard. We'll also hear from Anthony Delorso. We'll hear from Jaden and Anthony about that three-point shot last week against Purdue, the one where Jaden threw the screen on Fletcher Lawyer to give Anthony a clean look. So we'll hear from both of those
I got Toby
players.
for you.
All right, let's hear from Toby Awaka on the Tommy Lloyd news from earlier. Toby, obviously this won't affect you, but Tommy just announced he's signed a 5-year extension to coach this university. What do you mean? What does that mean when you hear that he's going to stay here?
It means a lot. I know, obviously he loves Arizona and the Tucson community. He has deep ties and connections with it. So, yeah, I'm happy for him and just happy for the program.
Evan, he's talking to Evan. He said you guys room on the road together. Like, what are those conversations like between the two of you? Like, two deep brothers that are, into reading and all that. What are those conversations like?
Great conversations. Obviously learning more about him and just him as a person, how he thinks, how he operates. But Evan's a super smart guy, and I'm, definitely grateful to be able to sort of bounce ideas off of him and just learn a lot from him.
Do you think that that's a relationship that you guys will continue into the future? Maybe, I don't know, you guys do any business together or that kind of thing, maybe down the road potentially?
Possibly, yeah. I don't see why not. But in terms of the relationship staying intact, for sure. Definitely a guy I would hit up and talk to and call and just check in to see how he's doing.
Do you recommend books to you? Do you recommend books to him?
Yeah. Back and forth sometimes, but we've mostly just been talking about just like the state of the world and just like how the outlook is and the things that are happening, things like that. So it's been less book heavy, more sort of like I guess geopolitical.
Maybe one thing maybe you guys disagreed on in maybe a conversation you had. Could be anything, sports, news, whatever.
We honestly haven't really disagreed on too much. Not that I can really think of. Maybe just like stances on AI, maybe, and where that's going. But I wouldn't even say that's a disagreement. It's just about sort of the timeline on how things are going to work.
Do you have any stances on AI, J-Dub, or Dragon Ball?
Well, I've spent the last 35 years of my life, in the computer industry, so I have a lot of thoughts on AI. Here's the thing. I went to school for graphic design in the 90s. So the biggest issue with AI is it's a great, efficiency tool. I think the purpose is for using it to help any business with their efficiency is great. But what you're seeing right now is cutting out creative. So, for instance, it's much easier now to type in Studio Ghibli style Dragon Ball David Amata image, and that pops up in 5 seconds, right? Whereas the person who went to school for 10 years to learn how to draw Studio Ghibli style and could commission that painting for X number of dollars is now completely out of it because, DK, those AI systems are trained upon real-world artists, and they're trained upon real-world images. So if you ask an AI as a high school student to write your term paper, it didn't come up with those ideas itself. It came up with those ideas from other humans. So the biggest issue right now is you're seeing, the number of jobs right now is really bad. And there's just there's a potential future where people coming out of college don't have opportunities to get their foot in the door because those foots aren't there. Those doors aren't there anymore. Those doors are closed. So I just hope that whatever future holds for AI usage among businesses, that there still are opportunities for young people coming out of college to get into some kind of business or industry and learn the ropes and work their way up, as the American dream has always been.
My argument has always been very simple whenever someone has asked me this. They're like, okay, would you rather an AI help you balance your checkbook and help you do your taxes, or do you want AI to help you paint a picture or make a movie? And obviously, the more fun answer is going to be the second option, but there's a lack of real creativity and real flexibility because you put in those prompts and it has to make it based on the prompt that you put it in. There's no ability to be outside of the description to add something new. Meanwhile, I don't really have a whole lot of flexibility when I do my taxes. Either I do them right or I get caught up with an audit and I get in trouble. So I'd rather there not be flexibility with something that's going to do something important that's not going to get me in trouble.
Yeah, just to summarize what I just said, guys. Plagiarism was a problem when we were in school, DK. Was it not?
It's interesting.
No, like what I'm saying is like when you were in high school and I was in high school, David Kelly,
Yeah.
we went to the library, we did research, we cited what we did on our term papers
Right.
and said, this is where I found this information. I have ingested that information and I've written it from my own words what I took from that information, right?
Yeah.
And if you copied and pasted 3 paragraphs from some kind of textbook, then your teacher would give you an F and say plagiarism. Well, AI is just plagiarism. Like it's just taking from human history. So if you think you can type something into AI and have it write something out for you and call that your own,
Yeah.
that's not how any of this works.
No. So in other words, you're saying you don't like my new Wilbur and Wilma graphics that AI has been spitting out for us.
You do you. No, I don't, like, for any purpose is fine. You're not taking, nobody's losing their job from that. You know, we don't have an art department here at 12.
No, we do not.
We do not. So we can at least use ChatGPT and AI for that type of thing right there.
Well, I'm certainly not going into the Wilbur and Wilma costume for the sake of pictures for the website. No.
DK on the Sports Tape coming to you live from the Final Four in Indianapolis. 520-848-1290 is the number. All right, let's we'll get a break in here. We'll get Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball knows everything happening in sports in Southern Arizona as well as sports around the world.
Well, you've been hearing a lot about Tommy Lloyd and the new contract extension that he signed with the program, but the Arizona men's basketball team will be tipping off against Michigan for their first Final Four game since 2001 tomorrow. Tip-off will be about 5:49 in the afternoon Arizona time. Many of today's Cats were not alive or born the last time the Cats were in this position, but Tommy Lloyd has told many of his players, especially the freshmen, to keep themselves poised in the midst of such a huge moment.
I just think for them, you got to find a way to connect and create meaning for them, and that's why I keep telling them. And you guys have heard me say it multiple times over the last couple of weeks. Let's just treat this like a state tournament. These guys all won state championships. Why do we need to? Why did we have to put the word national in front of it and treat it different just because there's a different word in front of it? So let's treat it like a state tournament. You're in the semis in the state tournament. You know, we all remember that back in the day, and unfortunately, my team got knocked out before then, so I didn't get that feeling as a player. But these guys all know what it feels like, and I want them to understand they've been here before, and it just maybe different circumstances.
Again, you'll be hearing that game live here at Wildcats Radio 1290 and K-Hit 107.5, but you can't listen to the if you can't listen to the radio, be sure to download the Varsity app in order to hear it on your phone, as we cannot stream those games on our Wildcats Radio 1290 app due to Westwood One Sports and the NCAA's contract. Now, the Phoenix Suns have dropped 8 of the last 11 games as they ended up falling flat against the Hornets last night in a contest where the Hornets managed to dominate the ball offensively, but they still sit 2.5 games up of the Blazers, and the Suns can still clinch the top play-in seed at number 7 in the next few games, but that may be as far as it goes as they now sit 4.5 games behind the Timberwolves of the 6th spot out in the Western Conference. And the new executive order coming from the White House seems to push for an end of the transfer portal mayhem that has swept through college sports, with the order stating that college athletes can play a maximum of 5 seasons during a 5-year window, with only 1 transfer before the graduate would have to sit out a season following that first transfer. Now, multiple lawyers who work with college and athletes say that they believe judges would rule this order to be unconstitutional and unenforceable if this would be to challenge in court. So we'll see how that develops moving forward.
Can I tack something on here, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Just now announced, Luka Doncic set to miss the rest of the regular season due to that hamstring injury.
Grade 2 hamstring, yep. They will have Luka Doncic out for the remainder of the regular season. His status for the first round of the playoffs also now in question. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
Bounce pass, a Walker, slam it home.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collisions at a reported 22nd Street and Swan multi-vehicle crash, Skyline and Campbell and Skyline, also La Cholla and McGee and La Cholla, and some slowing on Speedway between Main Avenue and Stone Avenue. For your weather, 57 the overnight low, 88 partly cloudy tomorrow, 84 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
In the game of life, every point matters, especially when it comes to your loved ones. Score big for your family this March by securing life insurance with SelectQuote. Their team of experienced licensed insurance agents can help you find the right policy at the right price in just minutes. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote can help you score big on affordable coverage. Don't let the clock run out on your chance to protect your family's future.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-760-1010. That's 1-800-760-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-760-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Rats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Bar, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals?
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
There's only one place to catch Brian Jeffries, the voice of your Arizona Wildcats.
Grabbed by Del Orso, who drives the baseline and slams it home. He did what?
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think first chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 40 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First
Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We are coming to you live from the Indiana Convention Center here in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Final Four. We are at Radio Row, which is for the most part broken down here. There's only, I think, three shows going on right now. Our show, we've got our guy Brad Evans is back there doing the Westwood One show, which normally, if we were not on the air, you would hear at this time. And, of course, we've got Arizona baseball coming up for you a little bit later. Brody Dryden will be joining us from High Corbett Field coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll get you set for Game 2 of that 3-game series between the Wildcats and the Sun Devils. Arizona has lost 5 games in a row heading into this second tilt with the Sun Devils, and both games in the series against the rivals to the north this season so far. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Of course, the big news, Tommy Lloyd announcing that he is not going anywhere. He will be remaining at the University of Arizona. So a lot of happy folks about that. We've chatted with a number of people today about that, fans that are here for the Final Four. We've got folks from all over the country. Talked to a couple of gentlemen. You'll hear from them tomorrow. Talked to a couple of gentlemen who are here from a dad and his son who are from Redwood City, California, which is Northern California. They were up there last weekend and saw the Wildcats play at San Jose, and also came here this weekend to see the Wildcats in the Final Four. We talked to a couple of guys from another father and a son. That's interesting. A lot of fathers and sons are here this weekend. We talked to two, and I go up and I just grab folks, and I have no idea who they are, but just happened to grab a couple father-son combos today inside of the Lucas Oil Stadium. A father and a son from North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota. You'll hear from them coming up a little bit later as well.
Remind me, Dragon Ball, why are you an Arizona Wildcat fan?
I'm an Arizona Wildcat because my dad was an alumni. He went to the Ehlers Business School.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
same school that Bob Elliott graduated from.
And Robert Garrett, the gentleman we talked to, he and his son, he was a graduate of the University of Arizona. Now, his son did not go to U of A, but he was a graduate of the U of A, and his son has been a fan ever since he was born because his dad made him be a fan at the University of Arizona. So, yeah, it's great to see fathers and sons who are sharing in this moment with each other here this week.
So I've never really told my origin stories. You want to hear that story?
Yes, let's hear it.
I mean, it's kind of sad, but like my mom and dad split up when I was 1. Never knew a life of my parents being together. So my dad got 6 weeks in the summer every other weekend, and he negotiated to get Thursdays and every other weekend. And that was so that he could take me to Arizona Wildcats basketball games, because my dad was a professor of medicine. He had come over from Chapel Hill. He was, part of the basketball program at Chapel Hill, was on Coach Snowden's staff as the surgeon on Coach Snowden's staff here. Huge basketball guy. So DK, as a kid with no dad in the house, going to Arizona basketball meant hanging out with my dad.
Right.
Like spending time with my father. So it became very synonymous with me when I was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those years. Arizona basketball meant companionship and spending time with my dad. So it became very much I linked those two things together, where like that little boy's joy of like spending time with your dad if he's not in the house became Arizona basketball for me. So continued with that. And I love to see those stories of, I don't know about forcing your son to be a fan. I don't know if I like that line of thinking, but I do love the sharing. Here's my joy. Here's why it's important to me. You figure it out on your own. But yeah, I definitely made a very early connection to Arizona basketball in my family because that meant spending time with dad.
I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, for sure. So I'm sure that we'll see more fathers and sons. These were adult fathers and sons, but I'm sure there's a lot of adult fathers and children's sons, as well as daughters, who will be here this weekend cheering on the University of Arizona. And it's going to be a memory that the families will be able to cherish for years to come, just like those that came here in 1997 to chat about and see their Wildcats play at the old RCA Dome and eventually win a national championship with the victory over Kentucky. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Again, you can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We mentioned earlier in the week they're dealing with some bad weather in Ames, Iowa this weekend. So Arizona softball had to push their series back to Sunday and Monday from Thursday. They were initially supposed to play that series Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but Sunday and Monday. They'll play 2 games on Sunday and 1 on Monday as the ladies continue their trek to try to win a Big 12 championship. And so we'll keep an eye on that as we move forward here with the weather in Ames, Iowa as well.
I just read that 12 inches and 50-mile-an-hour winds are coming to Michigan today.
Oh, great. Well, it did finally rain here last night. As we were getting done with the program, I walked out the door, and it was like pouring down rain. I actually had to wait for a little while to get to the car because it was raining so hard. It was about an 80% chance of rain today, but it has not rained yet. And it was a really warm day. I mean, warm for, you would expect maybe even a little bit warmer for this time of year than normal. But the weather has been really, really good for the most part here in Indianapolis this entire week. And so Arizona fans that have flocked here have been extremely happy with what they've got on this trip so far. Now all we got to do is get a win, and then we'll really be extremely happy with the week as a whole. Getting to Monday night, that's what everybody wants to do. Get to Monday night. We actually had a chance to get in and chat with a few of the Michigan Wolverines as well this week. We'll let you hear some of those, or today actually. We'll let you maybe hear some of those interviews as well tomorrow on our pregame show, Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, which will begin at 2:30.
Remember I was telling you guys how Yaxel Lindenberg, you might not know, is 23?
Yes.
I just read today, I wanted to look it up, but Yaxel is 21 months older than Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, wow. That's almost 2 years.
Just to put things in perspective.
Yeah.
And he had some academic issues coming out of high school, and that's why he went to Yuma and spent 3 years in junior college. And guess what? That was COVID time. So this is his 6th year. But yeah, he's a little bit older in case people hadn't recognized.
That's right. Yaxel was the Arizona Western kid. Yeah, that's right. I forgot
Correct.
about
3
that.
years there. 3 years, right?
Wow, there you go. And congratulations. Speaking of Arizona JC, congratulations to Eastern Arizona. They won the Division I women's basketball championship. So Division I and Division II won by teams from the ACC-AC as Eastern Arizona won the Division I championship and Pima won the Division II championship.
Woohoo.
What?
Cricket.
Sir.
What time is it?
What time is it?
What time is it?
What?
It is what?
It is
the weekend. Woo!
Everyone's so excited.
Hey, well, I think most of Tucson's more excited for
you
this
wearing-
weekend than they have been for a long time.
Are you wearing your red cricket?
I don't do well in red, but I'm wearing a gray Wildcat
She's got
shirt.
Wildcats
okay.
head to toe.
All right.
Yeah, head to toe
I
Wildcats.
have a Wildcat shirt on, but red's not my color.
Why is that?
It's gray.
Why
I
is
don't know.
why is red not your color?
I don't know. Maybe freckles. I don't know.
Oh.
I just don't like to wear red. It's so flashy for me.
Too
Nothing against red on y'all. Jake Dubb wears
That's
red
why.
well.
That's why you didn't buy the red Hemi car, right?
Exactly.
Too flashy.
that's 'cause
Too
it's-
flashy.
That's what the cops are looking for.
Officer over
exactly.
here.
Red
Yeah.
cars that go vroom.
Can you imagine how many times she would get stopped driving a red car?
Exactly.
They'd be like, "Oh, well, there goes that cricket again. We'll just
There
let her
she
go
is.
this time."
Jeez.
Cricket, what's happening around? Well,
I have a feeling like the police officers around Tucson are pretty cool with cricket.
All right,
That's
so
all I'm doing.
we'll wait till the next time to get the quote and what's happening. But this time, let's just find out what's happening. I found out they're opening a wine bar in my neighborhood.
Are they?
Yes.
I didn't know about that yet.
We're getting a wine bar up on Swan and Sunrise.
Another one?
One I can actually walk to.
Oh.
That is a real bad thing.
Well, I was going to say, but that's even better. I mean, maybe, sort of.
Bro,
a little bit.
A wine bar that I can walk to is not something that probably should be happening. on
Walk
my
to
block.
Wine Bar sounds like the title of a new age pop country song, right?
Yeah, or like a really good book.
Yeah.
You know, or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Turquoise Wine Bar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's right up next to they opened a new ice cream place It's all like there's my gym, the wine bar, the ice cream place, and then Subway. It's like I haven't been to this new. It's like some kind of fusion ice cream joint. I've not been there yet. Yeah. So we got all kinds of new things happening up in the foothills.
Exciting.
It is. It is. I can't wait for the wine. It'll be there in the summer.
Yes.
So we'll happen over there.
Yeah, let's go walk to the wine bar in 115-degree weather.
Right.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, what's happening this weekend, Cricket?
We've got a couple of Easter events. Easter Eggs Extravaganza in Oro Valley tomorrow starts at 9 a.m. at James D. Craig Park on Calle Concordia. Old Tucson Wild West Adventure Park tomorrow. They're also having an Easter celebration. And basically tomorrow, any bar or grill that's got a television, they're probably showing the Wildcats game. I'm going to guess.
I heard there's a basketball game tomorrow night, right?
I hear I don't know. It's like close to the season finale or something.
Yeah,
I don't
close.
know.
Very close.
And something else.
Let's hope it's
Dragon Ball.
not the season finale.
Well, I'm hoping it's not, but it's close to.
Close to.
It's like the build-up, too. Dragon Ball might know what this is. Have you heard of Micromania?
Micromania. The name sounds familiar.
Okay. It's midget wrestling.
Ooh.
Midget wrestling tomorrow.
Where's that?
At the Outlaw Bar and Grill at 7.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like something Outlaw would host.
The Outlaw.
Yeah.
I first read about that on Wednesday. I thought it was a joke.
Where's
But
the
apparently
Outlaw?
it's
Wait,
real.
where's the Outlaw?
It's up here on Roger at Flowing Wells.
Not only does Dragon Ball know about it, he's
Oh, yeah.
involved
Isn't that the one where Chop
Correct.
DJ's at? Yeah, the
Correct.
Outlaw. They're having midget wrestling there?
Yes.
You joke, JW. I may have been asked to do commentary for it at one point in my past. So.
So, hey, you're going to be busy. I was going to say.
I'm going to be busy.
If
Yeah,
you
I'm
want to
gonna be busy
go,
for this one.
micromaniatour.com. That's your tickets.
Best thing to talk about is stuff that you love, Dragon Ball.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised you got offered that.
So there's that.
All right, there we go. Okay, so that's what's happening this weekend. Cricket will have more of what's happening and her quote of the day coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Right now, she's getting home every 20 minutes on the 5s with traffic and weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported Broadway and Alvernon, Park Avenue and Ahaway. Earlier collisions clearing La Cholla and McGee, and a 4-car crash 22nd and Swan. And travel's been busy this afternoon for the southbound I-19 frontage road at Irvington. 57, the overnight low, 88, partly cloudy tomorrow, and 84 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
The jungle. is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
Every day is a balancing act with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Top of the morning to you. You don't need the luck of the Irish or a little leprechaun to protect your home from rodents, weeds, pests and termites. Let Weed Co protect your home from things that don't belong so you can focus on the ones that do. Never worry about those critters again. If they come back, so does Weed Co. We'll keep your home as snug as an Irish pub. Cheers! Call Weed Co now. 549-1390. That's 549-1390. Or visit weedco.services today. Cheers!
If your yard is the talk of the neighborhood, make sure it's for all the right reasons. Call Dorado Rock and Materials. For landscape gravel to boulders and everything in between, Dorado Rock and Materials will make sure you and your yard are covered.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 12. Radio 1290 app today.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins has found his new home. According to his agent, he's signing with the Las Vegas Raiders for the 2026 season. The Raiders also hold the first overall pick in this year's draft, and they're widely expected to select Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, so Cousins could be in position to start as well as help potentially mentor a rookie. Elsewhere, 5-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All-Pro Stephon Gilmore has announced his retirement from the NFL. Gilmore spent 13 seasons in the league, was named the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, and won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. Meanwhile, the Chiefs have agreed to terms with former first-round pick corner Kaiir Elam, according to NFL Network insiders Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo. And Bills quarterback Josh Allen and his wife Haley Steinfeld have welcomed their first child. They announced Thursday that they're now parents to a baby girl. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, it is the Wildcats and the Michigan Wolverines, joined by the voice of the Wolverines, Brian Bush, another Northeast Ohio guy. Always great to talk with people from back in my part of the country. And Brian, everybody is saying that this is the de facto national championship game here, but we've got to be careful with those types of things because there are two other teams on the other side of the bracket. But man, this is the game that everybody's been waiting to see all year long, Arizona and Michigan.
Yeah, first off, David, I went north from Ohio. You went to the warmer weather, so you're the smarter man than me. I do think that the winner of this game will be the favorite on Monday night, deservedly so, but it's not the de facto championship, and I think everybody here understands that. Weird things can happen in college basketball, but unquestionably over the duration of the season, I felt like metrically and just the total body of work, Michigan and Arizona were 1A and 1B, and we're going to find out who's 1A and who's 1B. Obviously, as a Michigan guy, you kind of hope for a smoother path if you can. So you're hoping maybe LIU would go on a miracle Final Four run and play Michigan. But truly, as a college basketball fan, I wanted this. I wanted to see these two teams because, as everybody has said, I think on both sides, there are a lot of similarities between these two clubs. And now we get to see good on good, or probably more accurately, great on great.
You know, it's interesting because we've said all season long, there was the debate, who had the better conference, Big 12, Big 10. Now, obviously, though, 4 teams from the Big 10 got to the Elite 8, and there's 2 in the Final Four. How did you guys kind of assess the toughness of the Big 10 conference?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gotten a lot better. Michigan having a say in that, what Nebraska did, going from an afterthought into a real contender in a Sweet 16 team. How about Ben McCollum at Iowa? I was really impressed with them. Michigan went there in the final week of the regular season, and it took everything for the Wolverines to get that victory. You know, the Big Ten has not won a national championship since 2000. That is something that hangs over this league, some of its key programs. So for right now, I don't think you can call the Big Ten that number one conference until they get a champion. If either Illinois or Michigan wins it this weekend, then yeah, you can have that discussion. But for now, I've got so much respect for what the Big 12 has done. Some of the games that Arizona's played, what Houston's done. I thought Texas Tech could have been here if JT Toppin wouldn't have gotten injured. So there are so many great storylines, but man, you want to talk about two physical leagues who have gotten both these teams ready for one another. That's what you've got in the Big 10 and the Big 12.
Brian Bush, the voice of the Michigan Wolverines, is our guest. This Michigan team has blown out folks by 30-plus points all season long, including in the Elite 8. How has this team been able to win by such big margins?
Yeah, Dusty has very much been of the mentality of it's possession by possession. You'll see him sometimes over there, and you know Michigan's up by 30-something, and Michigan doesn't execute something, and he's perturbed. His son hit a 3 in the final minute of the Elite 8, and Dusty talked more about his defensive work on that little stint he played in the Elite 8, and he basically no-sold it. Everybody else is going crazy on the sideline, and Dusty's locked in on the next possession. I think that mentality, what he has termed as April habits, he has made sure to continue. So Michigan does not feel like any opportunity is over. The game might be over at times based on margin, but if there's still some time to play, they want to go out there and, as Dusty says, play good ball.
We saw Dusty 2 years ago at Florida Atlantic, the year after he took them to the Final Four. He's got here now to Michigan's second season in the Final Four. What is the secret sauce for him that he's been able to do this now with 2 different programs and a mid-major, more importantly?
Yeah, 2 parts. One, he is just a basketball junkie. What he absorbs, how much basketball he takes in is remarkable, especially considering the responsibilities of his role. The other thing from the totality of his job is that he has adapted to this new world of college basketball. I think there are a lot of people, sometimes myself included, that yearns for the days of some of the old things. I'm not saying that the players shouldn't get paid, they should be, but there's certainly some aspects of college basketball that have evolved, that have changed. Dusty doesn't complain. He tries not to worry about the things that he can't control. He tries to focus on what he can, and he is a CEO. Obviously, there are a lot of head coaching and just X's and O's responsibilities, but he is an excellent delegator. He trusts his staff and his players. He empowers them to be able to do what maybe he won't be able to do because he's doing a media hit or he's raising money for NIL down the road. He understands that he's running a business, and obviously business is booming right now.
Damar is a guy we saw in UCLA back in the Pac-12 days. How's he different now as a player for this program?
Boy, it'd probably be easier for me to say where he's not. What he's been able to do, I think, as a defender has been remarkable. Obviously, when you're 7'3" and you've got the high basketball IQ that Adai possesses, there's going to be some of that potential. But to realize it in the form of 100 blocks on the season, most in Michigan history, to realize it as the defensive player of the year in the Big Ten, I can't wait for the Mara-Krivas matchup because of the fact they know each other, their similarities, some differences subtly here and there. But Adai, I think defensively, that's where he really shines. But offensively, his ball handling, his IQ, his passing ability is really good. And obviously, if he gets low underneath the basket, he's probably going to dunk it down.
We're chatting with Brian Bush, U of A, U of M in the national semifinals. Obviously, you guys had the scare with Elliot Cadeau coming over here. How is he? What can you tell us about how he is?
Everything's fine. He did need to stay overnight at a medical facility, very much just precaution, a pretty severe nut allergy for him, so they wanted to be extra careful. Obviously, helpful that Michigan and Arizona has a little bit of a lengthier stretch to get ready for this game, but he was full go in practice pretty much leading up to it once he arrived in Indianapolis on Thursday, and he's been playing his best basketball. I mean, we're talking, I think it's almost a 5-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio in the NCAA tournament, and with the LJ Kaysen injury late in the regular season, Kaysen was awesome in the month of February. Cadeau knew he needed to be awesome in the month of March, and into April, he's delivered.
If he's at all limited, how does that change what happens?
Yeah, certainly physically he wouldn't be limited. The area that Michigan has had to contend with at times this year is him picking up fouls. He has had 2 fouls in 14 first halves this season. Now, he's been able to work around that much of March, but Trey McKinney has been the secondary ball handler. He is an ascending freshman. He'd fit in with Arizona's freshmen of guys who don't look anything like freshmen. They look more like seniors. He's built physically. He's always been ahead of the curve as a defender in college basketball, even though this time last year he was celebrating a state championship in the state of Michigan, but he would be that secondary guy, and I expect him to play a pretty good number of minutes. He's played no more than 28 minutes on the season. I wouldn't be surprised in a certain style of game if he exceeds that.
Morez Johnson, obviously one of the best bigs in the country. How would you describe the game we're going to see from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Koa Pete, Morez Johnson Jr. battle is pretty comparable. Those two guys played on the FIBA U.S. under-19 team. He is who I've called Michigan's bouncer. He might not be necessarily there on every play, but you know his presence. You know he is a factor. He raises the temperature of this team, the physicality. I think if you took out Rez, Michigan would be a slightly above average team in terms of the toughness metric. You put him in there, and they're one of the toughest teams in the nation. He didn't play great back home in the Chicago area last weekend in the Sweet 16 Elite Eight, but when he's clicking, he doesn't have to be a part of the primary offense for him to be able to make an impact. He's a dirty work player, and boy, he does it at a high level.
And who's that maybe X factor guy, maybe a lower level starter, a guy off the bench who could be huge for Michigan?
Well, Roddy Gale Jr. has had an awesome month of March. He was kind of slow to get going in Big Ten play, but he's, I think, 7 of 12 from 3 in the NCAA tournament. He only hit 6 threes total against Big Ten competition. They've called him March Roddy around here. I asked him, well, what's April Roddy like? And he said, I'm not sure, but I hope it's better than March. He's really been great. Always been a really good defender, but his jump offensively without LJ Kaysen, who was that offensive spark plug for Michigan off the bench, has been essential. I think Michigan probably still would have probably gotten here had Roddy not had this, but it was a lot more comfortable because of Roddy's ascension in March.
All right, we saw a lot of Illinois people in the building for the open workout. What's Michigan's throng going to be like? Obviously, second closest team to this site.
Yeah, Michigan always tends to travel well. Obviously, Illinois had the one-day advantage by being the first team to clinch, and they're even closer than Indianapolis, but there will be plenty of maize and blue. They were pretty much dominating the matchup fan-wise in the Elite Eight because Michigan kind of knows, similar to Arizona, you kind of knew for a good 3-4 weeks before it happened that Michigan, if they got to the Sweet 16, would be in Chicago based on how the bracket would play out. So I think there have been plenty of fans who did their work early and rolled the dice on buying Final Four tickets. So I'll be really curious what the complexion is. But Michigan will show out. They'll represent well, and I've always said neutral court Michigan from a fan standpoint is always pretty darn elite.
Well, as a fellow Ohioan, grew up in Northeast Ohio, and who had maybe some allegiances to that school down in Columbus, I tell people all the time, man, there was nothing I enjoyed on a Saturday when I was working at home in the early 2000s was listening to Frank Breckman call a Michigan football game. He was one of the best.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to get to do this on the basketball side. I think it's been really cool because I grew up watching the Cavs with LeBron.
Do you want to come back and throw a cricket or no?
And some of his chase down blocks, kind of a la 2016 Game 7 on Andre Iguodala.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
See what Yax has in this environment with everything on the line.
There you go. Well, his name is Brian Bush. He'll be calling the game for the Michigan Wolverines. Brian, have a great call.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you, man.
Brian Bush, the voice of the Michigan Wolverines. You can listen to their broadcast on the Varsity app as well tomorrow, if you so choose. And we have a lot of Michigan folks.
Why would anybody choose to do that if Brian Jeffries is on the air?
Well, I mean, if you're a Michigan fan, some people like to listen to the other teams.
I know. No, I just meant from our listening base. I'm assuming that they're probably more.
Sure. No, that's a message for our Michigan brethren who are here in Southern Arizona and want to hear their team. tomorrow. We try.
I love me some Brian Bush. I think that guy's great.
Yeah, great.
If you're a Michigan fan, definitely listen to Brian Bush.
Absolutely. He's great great Northeast Ohio young man. We like to see our brethren doing well.
How come almost everybody you talk to, like, seemingly is from the same region of the country that you're from?
I don't know, man, because it is a great place to be from.
Aren't, like, all the Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Dragon Ball, like, all from the same county?
They're all from that western Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. That's not my home. Yeah,
no, I'm just saying it's very similar. Like, all the broadcasters
all the
from
broadcasters
Ohio.
leave from Ohio because not everyone can get that Ohio State job.
That's true. That's true.
They all went to Syracuse, and they're all from Ohio. Right?
Well, Brian went to OU. He's an Ohio University kid.
I mean, there's so many guys from Syracuse. Like, Syracuse is, like, synonymous with television broadcasting.
They are.
Right? Yeah.
That northeast part of the broadcast.
Too many Syracuse broadcasters out there for my taste. That's for sure. All right, much more coming up for you straight ahead. We will, in the 5 o'clock hour, hear from Brody Dryden, who's going to be calling the game tonight, Arizona State in baseball, Game 2 of a 3-game series out at High Corbett Field. We will hear from Brody on what happened last night, and we'll get you some of the lowlights from that game last night straight ahead as well. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported Speedway near Alvernon, Speedway west of Alvernon, Broadway and Alvernon. Alvernon and Broadway crash was reported at Park Avenue and Ahaway. Some slowing at Ina and Oracle for traffic on Ina at Oracle and backups at Grant and Alvernon, northbound, southbound, and westbound slowing. 57 the overnight low, 88 partly cloudy tomorrow, 83 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
So hot. Hi, can I help you? Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team. But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Goodfellasac.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? An American male has not won a Grand Slam tennis tournament in 22 years. One question I want to ask about this stuff. I just wonder if the phenomenon that was Tiger Woods siphoned off a lot of American kids from playing tennis and had them picking up golf clubs instead. DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Inside with Chris Van Vliet.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet.
Behind-the-scenes conversations with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
How did you know you weren't going to kill Hornswoggle with that move? I didn't. That fall with suicide. I don't know how you survived.
Yeah, luck. And special live coverage of the biggest professional wrestling events of the year.
If you've ever wanted to know where the best place to watch WrestleMania is, right here. I've got a live show there, Insight Live, on the Thursday night.
Pro wrestling at its best.
Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. See you there.
Lately, big corporations have been buying up local plumbing and HVAC companies. But we're still here, still family owned, and still accountable to you. Right now, we're offering AC startup for just $29 to make sure your home is ready before the heat rolls in. And if you need a new system, we're offering 24 months, no interest financing. And remember, don't do it the wrong way. Call Cummings Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. When it's our name on the truck, it matters.
For heating, air, and plumbing, call Cummings. This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The Final Four is upon us tomorrow night. People seem to think that the second matchup of the night is the de facto national championship between number one seeds Michigan and Arizona. But let's not count out the winner of UConn and Illinois. Illinois boasts the most efficient offense in college basketball, and you can never discount a team that has Dan Hurley as their head coach. Illinois or UConn should put up a fight against Michigan or Arizona. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere.
All right, I got the 3 Beat the Books.
Slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style card.
Also, I'm looking right now at a live stream of McHale because the
Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we're back out here at the Indiana Convention Center at the Final Four. Final DK on the Sports Tip of this week. We'll have Arizona Game Day, Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day for you tomorrow at 2:30 as we get you ready for the expected 5:49 tip-off of the national semifinal between the Wildcats and the Michigan Wolverines. Thanks to Brian Bush for letting us know everything happening with the Maize and Blues. So, guys, this is the game of choice in terms of what we've been getting from our friends at Westwood One Sports and our BetMGM top plays of the day. So we've got a lot of different opinions coming from Westwood One on this game. Well, actually, they're not that different. I think everybody's in unison on what they think of this Arizona-Michigan game. Let's hear it. Let's start with our guy who's doing the show back there. I told him we'd do this for him because let's start with Brad Evans and what he thinks is going to happen in this game on Saturday.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the Bulls with Westwood One Sports. In the second Final Four game, points shall be plentiful.
So Arizona lost yesterday to SMSU.
Full percentage offense in a game with OT potential that should be played in the low 80s. The over 157.5 at -115 is a sound wager. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so Brad says take the over on Arizona and Michigan tomorrow, two high-scoring teams. I was kind of leaning that way. Of course, I'll make my official pick on it in our segment tomorrow on the pregame show. But the over, guys, sounds like the play in the Wildcats-Wolverines game. 157.5 right now at BetMGM.
Yeah, well, I will say these are two of the obviously, five most powerful scoring offenses. Another storyline is Michigan has the best field goal percentage defense in the paint of any team in America. Ade Mara obviously being a big part of that, but very athletic, very long team. And Arizona, the most efficient scoring team in the nation in the paint. So that's going to be the big David Goliath thing. But if all things go... If all things are created equal and the balls aren't overinflated and the rims aren't super tight, I could definitely see an over. I just think these two teams are two juggernauts, and I don't know if they're going to be able to slow each other down. It might just come down to whoever has the ball last.
And what if I've said my big concern all season long has been a team that's got a big shot blocker like an Ade Mara? So that'll be what are his total numbers? He's averaging 3 blocks per game. So this is the kind of guy that can really affect what's happening out there. 100 blocks on the season. Not as many as our guy from Kansas, but still a lot on the season. Dragon Ball, your thoughts on the over Arizona, Michigan?
I think the fact is that you're going to see this game. This game is going to get a lot of points, but a lot of it, I think, is going to come from the foul line for both squads. I think that you're going to see a lot of attacking in the paint.
Both teams go to the line 30-plus times?
I would be surprised if that doesn't happen. I think that you're going to see a lot of contact. Michigan likes to get very, very tight on their defense on the defensive side in the paint, just like you mentioned, JW. And Arizona, they're not afraid to go ahead and throw bodies and bodies blow for blow. Down low in the paint. You've seen a couple of guys that even when they drive, Jaden Bradley goes for the ball trying to steal it in mid-move. Anthony Delorso, same thing. I see that this game probably goes over, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see maybe about I would go so far as to say like maybe 38 to 42 points coming from the free throw line alone from both of these squads when it comes to tip-off time tomorrow.
All right, so that's what our guy Brad Evans thinks. Let's hear from his partner what Pat Boyle likes on this game.
I'm Pat Boyle here to help you beat the most of Westwood One Sports. Arizona and Michigan square off in Indy in the Final Four in what is, in my opinion, the de facto national title game. Two of the best teams in the country all season long, littered with NBA talent on each roster. The difference will be that Arizona doesn't rely on threes, and I think they've got more scoring options than the Wolverines. I picked Arizona to cut down the nets before the tourney began. I'm sticking with the Wildcats. U of A wins a tight one. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, Pat Boyle likes Arizona, which means that if you're betting the line, you're taking the Wildcats and the 1.5 points. That's it's still standing there at 1.5 plus 1.5 for Arizona. It'll be one of the few games they will not be favorite going into. If you're betting the money line right now, you actually had plus money a few days ago, but it's now minus 102, so about a straight even bet if you're taking the Wildcats on the money line.
And why would that
tonight? Because all the money's coming in on Michigan.
No, other way. Because Arizona was favored by 1.5, and now Michigan's favored by 1.5. Right. It's like they usually set those lines knowing how much money's going to come in, and it's pushing it the other direction because so much money's coming in. They have to balance that thing out. I think most every expert looks at this matchup and says push.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Easily.
I mean, 1 point here, 1 point there, whatever. But I think the de facto is they're evenly matched, and it could be either team's game.
And it definitely is a situation where they're evenly matched, but I'm not suspecting a UConn Butler type of scoring output where it's 53-41 by the end of the game or something like that.
No, Kelvin Sampson is not coaching one of these teams.
No, it's not Jay Bennett versus Kelvin Sampson. This is a game where offenses will be active. They will be scoring. It's just a matter of who gets the most points at the end is going to be the winner. Hey, that's the story with every college basketball and every basketball game, period. Whoever scores the most is going to win. It just doesn't – and also it doesn't matter where you get those points as long as you get them. So get the shots at the free throw line when you can get them because they may be coming in bunches if my belief system is that they're going to start blowing a lot of whistles in this game.
I mean, according to KenPom right now today, DK, Arizona is the 4th best efficient defense in the country, 4th in the country, and Michigan is 5th in the country. So, we're talking about a lot of points, and both these teams can score. But again, I mean, the reason why we talk about those, 10-0 runs all year long is because you have to have a really good defense and be able to stop the other team. So that's why this is such an intriguing matchup, is that both teams play both sides of the court extremely well. Both top 10 offenses in the country, top 10 defenses in the country.
All right, let's hear what Nick Costos from Better You Better You Bet, how he feels about the two semifinals tomorrow.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, helping you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Can't wait for the national semifinals on Saturday in the big college basketball tournament. Illinois, a small favorite against Connecticut. Michigan, a small favorite against Arizona. And come Monday in the title game, I think we will get Arizona against Illinois. Both small point spreads here. Give me Arizona and Illinois on Saturday. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so all three guys like the Wildcats. Brad Evans, Nick Costos, Pat Boyle from Westwood One, all like Arizona in this semifinal against Michigan.
Also, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. Well,
For the 25th consecutive year.
Exactly. Does he ever not like Arizona?
I think I'm not even joking. I'm pretty sure he's picked Arizona every year that they had a team that was even good enough to make the Sweet 16. Like every single year he's picked the Wildcats, as far as I can remember, last 15 or 20 years.
Yeah, he is Arizona through and through. That's for sure.
It's funny because you'll see those posts or whatever, like after a game, and there's a whole lot of wheeze.
Yeah.
we got to take care of the rebounding. And I'm thinking here, bro, like you're from Alabama and you went to Auburn, like the we thing, but that's how much he's embraced the Wildcat life and culture. Coming from Phoenix, obviously, he resides up there. So he's been pretty close during the Sean Miller years and now during the Coach Lloyd years. And it's a beautiful brand of basketball. And Barkley was a 8-foot and in guy for the most part. You remember shooting 25-footers with the Suns, but he did most of his damage with Philadelphia right on the block. So watching this Tommy Lloyd offense and watching what they're all about, DK, brings a big smile to Charles's face and anybody from that 80s era, because it really is that old school style of ball. Get those easy buckets right at the rim.
Not only that, I think the big thing about it, too, is that while Charles was at Auburn, I don't think, if memory serves me correctly, Charles never even won an NCAA tournament game while he was with the Tigers.
I don't think so, no.
And while he was when he was in Phoenix, that was when the University of Arizona was starting to make its big climb, being there from 92 to that 97 window. So he was there to see a lot of people get really high on Lute Olson. He probably met him more than a few times, I'm sure, in passing. So that might be where that connection, that love for Arizona basketball comes from. But nonetheless, like you said, he's an Auburn guy. But, hey, Auburn's not going to be making any runs in the national title game, I think, anytime soon.
Not this year. Not after losing 12 seniors. I'll put it that way.
No.
All right, so there you go. Bet and bet safely, however you decide to choose on either of these two games coming up tomorrow in the national semifinals. We'll hopefully have some plays for you coming up as well Monday night for the title game, and hopefully that game involves your Arizona Wildcats.
Ken Palm defensive and offensive rankings?
Yeah,
so
why not?
Michigan right now is the number 1 ranked defensive team in the country. Arizona is the number 2 ranked defensive team in the country. And as I mentioned, they are 4 and 5 offensively. So they're top 2 in defense and top 5 in offense.
Something's got to give. Something's got to give.
All right.
Way, Illinois
yes.
is the top ranked offense in the country.
There you go. I think it's going to be Arizona and Illinois. We'll see. I think I just gave away my pick. But we'll come back to that because I did pick Michigan at the beginning of the tournament. I had not made a decision yet, but
and I still stand by my Dan Hurley black magic thing or whatever he's got going on over there in stores, because I don't know. I can't bet against that guy after the last 4 years.
Whatever it is, hopefully he's not headbutting any more officials and risking technical fouls in the final 0.4 of a second remaining.
All right, much more coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. Right now, Dragon Ball's got all things sports in Southern Arizona as well as sports around the world.
Well, it was a rough opening for the Arizona Wildcats baseball team in their game against ASU on the diamond, as the Sun Devils managed to go ahead and put up together a rally in the later innings after the Cats managed to tie it up. They put up after 4 apiece. Again, the Sun Devils ended up coming back to win that series opener. Owen Kremkowski ended up taking the loss in the first game, but game 2 set for first pitch tonight, a little bit after 6 o'clock, as Smith Bailey gets the first dig on the mound tonight for the Wildcats here on Wildcats Radio 1290. You'll hear that with Brody Dryden on the call. It was not a good start of the series for the Diamondbacks out there in Phoenix, as the Braves managed to jump on the Diamondbacks pitchers early and often, scoring 17 runs on the day in a blowout yesterday. But the big scare came when outfielder Jordan Lawler left the game early after being hit in the hand and wrist area by a pitch in the 7th inning. After hitting his first home run of his MLB career, some concerns were raised about a possible injury, but Lawler seemed upbeat after the contest.
X-rays, we have a CT scan tomorrow, and just precautionary.
You feel pretty confident that it's okay?
Negative X-rays and CT scan tomorrow. That's all I'll say on that. Amazing. Yeah. Just kind of had a good feeling today, and committed to my plan and executed, and it didn't really feel like anything coming off the bat. And then, checked the exit velocity just to make sure, and then ran around the bases and got the silent treatment in the dugout. So that was pretty cool.
Again, the next game against the Braves tonight, first pitch will be about 6:40 for the Diamondbacks. And the Warriors could be getting Steph Curry back in the lineup as early as Sunday ahead of their matchup with the Rockets after he missed the last 27 games due to a knee issue. But Curry would be looking to help the Warriors go ahead and set up their current chances of getting themselves prepared for the play-in tournament. They currently sit in pretty much slopped into that 10th spot out in the West. And again, further reports saying that, yes, indeed, Luka Doncic done for the regular season, and his potential chances for the first or second round of the Western Conference playoffs in question due to a grade 2 hamstring strain. I'm Dragon Ball 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good.
I take great comfort knowing that he's our point guard, and and have great confidence that he's one of the best players in the country.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collision Speedway near Alvernon Speedway to the west of Alvernon. Golf links near Pantano reported on golf links near Pantano, and a crash Broadway and Alvernon. Also, expect slowing eastbound I-10 near Emparita Road due to road work. 57 the overnight low, 88 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 83 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me.
Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
Thank you to Brett Brennan and your Arizona Wildcats for bringing the cup back home.
Luisano dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
State champs again.
Yep.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. We've been proud corporate sponsors of Arizona athletics for nearly 6 decades, and we've seen a lot of the Wildcat Championship drives. We're also proud to be the locals' choice for tires and automotive repair. Our 14 award-winning locations have helped thousands of Arizonans get to and from work, home, school, and every other desert destination since 1960. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we know the difference in your next winning drive might come down to a split-second decision behind the wheel, a single defensive stop, or an amazing fast break down the lane. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to give you and your vehicle the assist you need with the most affordable tires and guaranteed quality automotive repairs, backed by our Arizona-proof protection, to make sure you have a winning drive every day. Find out more at jackfurriers.com, or you can call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by today. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at
Hey, DK, you want an insider for Brody?
Now Gold. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
5 final fours. 9 seconds left. Can you believe it?
Call Select Quote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2620.
About 15 seconds.
Info rate at selectquote.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcast Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The 1-1 from Overbeck. Swung on, chopper over to short, picked up by Moutsouridis, and he doesn't have a play. He doesn't have a play, and we've got a tie ball game here in Tucson. The 2-2 is swung on, hit hard along the ground out to right field. Hairston is waved around. The throw from Kane goes to the shortstop, Matisse Mira, who doesn't relay it as Hairston comes around to score, and Arizona State is back on top 4-3. Contreras, who's 1 for 3, swings and laces one out to deep left field. That'll drop for a base hit. It's a fair ball in the deep left field corner. Rolig comes around. He will score. Toigo is waved around as well. It's a 2-run double for New Contreras that now extends the Sun Devil lead to 3 runs. And again, Arizona is down to their last strike. The 0-2 from Schaefer, swung on and missed for strike number 3. Make that out number 3. Arizona had a chance there in the 9th, but Arizona State pulls off the Game 1 win. Final score 6-4 in favor of the Sun Devils over the Wildcats.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to bring you all of the insights from our Arizona insiders. Our insiders are brought to you by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Another big inning there in that seventh for the Arizona Wildcats, and the Sun Devils getting those 3 runs to overtake the game, tied 3-3. They win it by a score of 6-4. Take game 1 of the 3-game series. Game number 2 coming up in about an hour at High Corbett Field. That's where we go now and get in with our guy Brody Dryden, who will be on the call. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brody, appreciate you taking a few moments. Owen Kramkowski was pretty good yesterday up until that 7th inning, and things got away from him at the end. But I think the thing that I'd like to take away from it is that he looked a little bit more like the Owen Kramkowski we saw late last year through those first 6 innings last night.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with you, DK. I mean, he gets his 4th loss of the year, but like a lot of baseball people say, and I tend to agree with them, is that wins and losses as far as pitching decisions go they aren't actually that much reflective on the pitcher. And, there's so much on the offense that plays into that as well. But Kramkowski, I think he's definitely finding more of his rhythm after, a tough start that this team has had, now 9-20 on the year, and, that rough stretch to begin the year. I think they won one of their first 9 games. It's sort of hard when you're out there as a pitcher to inspire a lot of confidence when the bats behind you aren't really doing much. And that was happening a lot with this team, but now it seems like Arizona's bats they're starting, Tony Lira has been consistent all year, and that hasn't changed, and Chip Hale is starting to find some more young guys, some freshmen that are finding ways to contribute. And I feel like last night, Owen Kramkowski coming out with a good start had a lot to do with that. He's finally kind of finding some confidence. He realizes the bats behind him are finding a rhythm. And plus, it's a rivalry series. I think there's something to that where ASU comes down to Tucson. And I think even though Arizona lost last night, it was a close game, maybe a little bit closer than some people would have thought, going into it. Arizona hasn't beaten a ranked opponent so far this season, but I think this series comes at a good time when things were lulling and they went to Orlando and got swept, and so they've got this losing streak. But if they're going to turn things around, kind of lighting a fire under them in a rivalry series like this will do it.
You mentioned Tony Lira. He's been one of the consistent pieces of this offense this season. 7 of your 11 hits came from 2 guys last night in Tony Lira and a 4-hit night for Bo Sylvester, the catcher. But what have you liked about Tony Lira? This is a young guy who's kind of stepped into that lineup and looks the part for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, in his first full season as a starter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a guy that, he redshirted last year. He had briefly entered the transfer portal in the offseason, but decided he wanted to come back. He, reached back out to Chip Hale and said, hey, I want to return to Tucson. And I think it's certainly worked well for all parties because Tony Lira has really shined. I mean, he leads the team in batting average at .367, overall hitting with 44 hits, total runs scored at 21. And he's an interesting character because he is so young, but he's also a leader.
Yeah.
He really is that guy in the clubhouse and outside of the clubhouse. We see him out on the field kind of leading the team and hyping them up and, bringing everybody around and really trying to get everybody motivated and things like that, which is pretty hard to come by, but it's also necessary. And a team like this for Arizona that saw so many departures after their trip to Omaha last year. I mean, so many guys went to the professional ranks, which is great for them, great for the program. But at the same time, it leaves Arizona, obviously, to pick up the pieces back here in Tucson, and with very few returners, and Easton Breifogel being one of them. He's out for the season with an injury. Other leaders need to step up. And so Tony Lira, I mean, he's a leader in so many statistical categories, but he's also a leader in the clubhouse as well.
You mentioned guys that went to the big leagues. We got to shout out Daniel Suzak, who had his first start for the Giants and had 4 hits on the night. Great to see Daniel up there and then starting to begin his Major League Baseball career, what we hope will be a long one for him for sure. Brody Dryden is our guest. He is out at High Corbett Field. You can hear the music in the background. Last night also pretty special at the beginning. Our guy Clark Christ threw out the first pitch at the ball game. Clark, Wildcat from the 1980 National Championship team, has been battling back from a stroke. Brody, great to see Clark Christ back out at the ballpark last night.
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome to see. And, I mean, this has been a season where they honored the 1976 team due to the 50th year anniversary. Later on in the season, they'll be doing the 40th anniversary for the 1986 team. But, yeah, Clark Christ coming back and throwing the first pitch. It was, you know, like you mentioned, DK, he suffered that stroke. And, you know, he kind of came out with a cane and was having some help out on the field, and it took him a little bit, but you know, he goes out there in front of the mound and takes the baseball, and you know, while he's moving so slowly out there, then he fires a strike right down the middle, and it was just a great first pitch, like he was back in 1980 again. And that's the type of story and type of first pitch that, you know, both the Wildcats and the Sun Devils offered him a good applause there. So really good to sort of celebrate him. And you know, they talked about how he scouted guys like Kenny Lofton, which obviously didn't have to go too far to it. You know, he knew Kenny Lofton from Arizona, and then Albert Pujols as well. So he had a storied career as a scout and a coach. Really great for him and some of his teammates from the 1980 National Championship team to return to Tucson yesterday.
You know, Brody, I said last week, I think this team, again, the starting pitching, I think if they all click, you still got a shot. But you got to get into that top 12, and right now the Wildcats are sitting in last place, so they've got some work to do. Smith Bailey out there tonight. I mean, it's. I think there's still a window, but eventually you got to start winning some games to put yourself back into that position where you can get one of those top 12 spots for the Big 12 tournament, and then have a shot maybe to catch lightning in a bottle if your 3 dynamic starters can put together some dramatic outings down in Texas later this spring.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, the key right now is just to try to string some wins together, develop some confidence, and then obviously just getting into the Big 12 tournament, which, you know, for a team that was ranked in the preseason polls after going to Omaha last year, can't believe that we're talking about it, but that's the reality right now. Just get to the Big 12 tournament, and then anything could happen. I mean, they went on that run yesterday. I mean, they were going to be a postseason team anyway, and you know, had a lot more talent on last year's team to win that Big 12 tournament. But I think you're right, DK. If you can capture lightning in a bottle, like you said, and they've got really good starting pitching. I mean, Owen Kramkowski looks like he's trending in the right direction. It's Smith Bailey tonight, and I think tonight's pitching matchup between Smith Bailey and Cole Carlone, who's ASU's ace, is really intriguing, and perhaps the most intriguing matchup of the weekend, because Owen Kramkowski is Arizona's ace, but with Arizona having their 3 starters healthy and going right now, they decided to keep it with the Thursday, Friday, Saturday rotation, where ASU is a little different right now. They kind of have that bullpen game going in their 3rd spot, so they decided to fire that first last night, and it worked out for them, and they're going with their number 1 guy tonight, number 2 guy tomorrow. But either way, yeah, the pitching is going to be key, and I think also just finding the bullpen arms that are going to be the most consistent for you. I mean, Corey Kling has started to come out, and he had a good outing last night. Maybe you see a little bit more of Corey Kling, and maybe as guys start to come back from injury, we'll see how this team changes down the home stretch. But something is gonna have to turn, whether it's a fire under them or personnel changes or whatnot. If they want to flip something around, it's going to have to happen fast.
All right, it is the Wildcats and the Sun Devils. First pitch coming up at 6:05. Brody Dryden will have the call right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brody, have a great night.
Hey, DK.
Thanks, DK.
DK, you think maybe Brody could get something out of some wisdom from cricket?
Maybe. Well, hang on, Brody.
Don't go anywhere, Brody.
Yeah, because we've got Cricket's got quotes.
I mean, Brody did work here side by side with cricket, so they are buds.
Yeah.
We know Brody.
Yeah. I will stand by. I'm here for it.
So in case you don't know, Brody, so Cricket does. We started this segment a few weeks ago. Cricket has a quote of the day now. A quote of the because she's the theologian in our family.
Oh, don't say that. You're going to be so disappointed.
We're going to be
Brody.
calling her Reverend Cricket at some
build
point.
It up. Let's build it up more. Come on, build it up.
Oh,
build it up.
you guys are going to be so disappointed with this quote.
Okay.
Cricket, I am ready.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
are
get
you really?
let's get it.
All right. Well, you probably already heard this. I was going to ask you who said this. I kind of edited it down a little bit. This was said yesterday.
Ooh.
I've got my full focus on this team. Nothing is distracting me. I'm not a multitasker. You can ask my wife. I'm 100% locked in on Arizona basketball right now, and I'm excited to see what this team can do.
Oh man, who said that?
Who said that? I know it's disappointing.
The boss. That's who said
the
that.
Boss, the boss.
The boss.
Our job is to cut up these kind of quotes, so I think we all kind of
bring it down a little bit. Yeah,
I think we know who that
I was going to say, you guys know who that is. You're going to be so
Did you
sorry,
hear today's
Brody.
news
Yes.
that Coach Lloyd re-signed and that he's staying in Tucson
Yep.
for the foreseeable future?
Yes, for quite a while.
Quite a while. There you go. So Brody, Brody, no shot for you to coach the men's basketball team. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I really don't have a shot. But hey, good quote. Very, very timely there, Cricket.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Brody.
Brody, have a great call, brother.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, Brody Dryden, the play-by-play man tonight on Arizona baseball and softball. All right, thank you for that one, Cricket. What else
You're welcome.
What else is happening around Southern Arizona this weekend?
Around town. So it is Easter weekend. So tomorrow an Easter egg hunt at Udall Park. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Udall Park on Tanca Verde. You could take the kids to meet the Easter Bunny at La Encantada tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. The University of Arizona Flandreau Science Center and Planetarium. Tomorrow night, they're doing laser light music nights. Probably going to be really busy over there. A laser Beatles show, laser Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And then the last show tomorrow night is laser classic rock.
Ooh.
And don't forget Micromania tomorrow night. Some midget wrestling at the Outlaw Bar and Grill, 7 p.m.
I wonder if Chop is emceeing the midget wrestling at the Outlaw tomorrow night. We have to call Chop up and find out if he's emceeing that.
Probably only if they have a television there. Or radio,
Oh yeah,
so
exactly.
He can pay attention
so he
to
can
the
pay
game.
attention to
Probably,
the game
yeah.
as well. All right, and by the way, Cricket mentioned Easter. If you were out at the Good Friday breakfast today and had a chance to hear Miles Simon speak, but I'd love to hear from you about what you heard from Miles Simon, the 1997 national champion. 520-848-1290 if you had a chance to get out to the Gospel Rescue Mission's Good Friday breakfast
Easter
today.
blessings.
Yeah, and the Easter blessings was also today, right after that breakfast. So great day to really support our community and hear a great story of faith by Miles Simon. All right, Cricket, have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Bear down, go Cats.
Go Cats!
And now you can do traffic.
Thank you. I was just waiting I don't want to cut you off. Thank you. From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collisions, McGee and La Cañada. La Cañada and McGee, some slowing at the intersection, really heavy backups northbound. La Cañada at McGee, earlier wrecked golf links near Pantano. Expect some slowing near Grant and Alvernon, really busy there due to road work. 57, the overnight low, 88, partly cloudy for game day tomorrow. It's 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Around Tucson, you've probably seen Cruz on the road across our community. Because Cruz isn't just another law firm, we care about this community. And when one of our own is injured in an accident, we can help. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no. How bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm, under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today.
520-200-1600. That's 520-200-1600.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, a first for Columbia basketball. A program on the rise now owns a postseason trophy.
Rebound Columbia, they will push again. A catch-and-shoot 3 for Weiss. It's good. And a timeout called by Lee Kennard for BYU. As Columbia's feeling it now, they lead by 16.
Steve Strain with the call here on Westwood One. The 4th seed Lions led wire to wire, downing top seed BYU 81-64 to win the 3rd annual Women's Basketball Invitation Tournament. 3-time Ivy League Coach of the Year Megan Griffith is leading her program to new heights with a decade at the helm.
They all practice and work so hard for this. I would say there's nobody on our team that's not carrying their own weight. We talk a lot about that. We talk about culture, and I think we have the best culture in the nation, and every single one of those players is a testament to that.
Columbia trailed for a total 3 minutes and 9 seconds in the 5-game tournament run. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. $4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We are back out here at the Indiana Convention Center. They actually started the Fan Fest today. I walked through there because I had to get something to eat. It's like the only place you can eat in this building. So it's very much like a lot. I've not been to a Final Four Fan Fest, but I have been to the Super Bowl Fan Fest, and it's very similar to that, except obviously with a basketball slant versus a football slant. A lot of things for the kids to do, shooting baskets and video game basketball and that kind of thing and whatnot. So it is a very...
Stand next to this cutout of Boban Marjanovic and see how tall you really are.
Right. I did not see the cutout of Boban Marjanovic over there, but I'm sure there probably is one.
I saw a clip, and I don't know how I missed this, but it's a clip of Boban meeting Wemby.
Boban meeting Wemby.
And looking up at
looking at him.
Up. Like, we talked about this when Wemby was drafted. He was listed as 7'2", 7'3", and everybody's like, no way, that dude's 7'4", 7'5". Well, Boban is every bit of 7'4", and the clip, if you go watch it, there's a clip, just Boban meeting Wemby. I'm telling you, bro, he's looking up at the eye line of Wemby. Wemby has to be 1 or 2 inches taller than him.
That's how many people can say that they are almost as tall as Victor Wembanyama and can almost see him face to face. Boban Marjanovic being maybe one of those people. All right, the top story of the day, obviously, is the decision by Tommy Lloyd to remain at the University of Arizona. I read you the comments from the athletics director, Desiree Reed-Francois, earlier. I do want you to know also what the president of the university said today, Suresh Garamella. He said, Coach Lloyd has led our men's basketball program with clarity of purpose and a commitment to excellence. This past season is among the finest in Arizona athletics history, reflecting the culture he has built and the consistency of the program. He has reestablished Arizona basketball as one of the nation's best programs and leads a team that is unified and performing at the highest levels on the court and in the classroom. I'm very pleased that we have come to an agreement extending his contract and his leadership. We look forward to continued success. That is Arizona President Suresh Garamella. Now, it's interesting, and we'll hear. We'll chat tomorrow on pregame show with one of those guys who is probably pushing that GPA, Evan Nelson, the Harvard grad. We'll hear from him tomorrow in our spotlight on a cat, and you heard a little bit earlier from Toby Awaka as well. I think in that conversation you heard we talked a little bit about his relationship with Evan Nelson and the fact that they are actually roommates on the road. So I would think that those two guys alone are probably holding up that G. Not to say that everybody else isn't, but those are two really intelligent young men.
I think
when you're talking about Toby Awaka and Evan Nelson, so you know that they are at the forefront of whatever that high academic piece is for this basketball program.
The real question is, what do the other duos call that room? the nerd room or something like that. I mean, the other guys on the team have to have a nickname for Tobey and Evans rooming together, because clearly, like, two of the smartest, most well-spoken. Everybody on this team is smart and well-spoken, and those two guys kind of stand in a class.
I mean, if they're in there talking about the evolution of AI, then there's like a
right.
Because like I say, all I know is how to put the words in and create me a graphic, please. That's about the extent of my knowledge of AI. I've actually had it write me some of the promos. I'll be straight. Some of the promos you hear on our station, a few of those were written by AI as well. So you put in a few things, you tell them what you want, and they can spit out some stuff. Sometimes we have so much to do. It's like I need something done quickly. I put it into AI, and it spits out a script for me. I don't have to think about what I want to say. So there you go. That's how we use AI here
Use the tools you
at
have.
Wildcats
At your
Radio.
disposal.
1290, exactly. 520-848-1290 is the number. All right, so let's hear from a few people. Let's hear, first let's hear from Motias Krivas. I had a chance to catch up with him again today just to get his thoughts on Tommy Lloyd's decision to stay. So let's hear from Motias Krivas first here. I'm sure you heard that Tommy signed an extension. What does that mean to hear that he's going to be here?
It means a lot. I mean, I didn't have a doubt that he will stay, so just means a lot. It means that he believes in this.
T-Money just called. He's got thoughts.
Excited to go out and win this game.
People say there's no distractions, but obviously you guys heard that talk. What was the conversation with the players about what you guys were hearing?
To be honest, nothing too crazy. It's just we knew why we came here, and it's to win one game by a time.
Final preparations, obviously, as you guys get ready for this last day before the big game. How would you describe where the nerves are?
I think everything's all right. We've been in the Big 12 tournament, and we played 4 games already in March Madness, so of course the stakes are higher, but just trying to take this like a regular day. We'll have a practice, some media, some films, so just trying to take it regular.
So you guys went to St. Elmo's the other night. Do you guys have big-time steakhouses like that in Lithuania?
When I left Lithuania, I wasn't eating steak that many times, so I can't tell.
So did you eat one the other night?
Yeah.
What kind of steak did you have? Have you gravitated to a favorite steak?
Filet. Yeah.
I had a chance a couple weeks ago when we were doing the show out on the in front of McHale, and your girlfriend happened by. We had a chance to speak with her. What's your favorite thing about her? She said she met you at a Halloween party.
Yeah. My favorite thing is just how supportive she is and how caring she is. So it means a lot to me. She pushed me a lot. She helped me a lot. So really grateful to have her.
Is she taking you to Chicago yet?
Not yet, but hopefully I'll go there this year.
Have you been to an American baseball game yet? Because they have a really good fun place to go there called Wrigley Field.
Maybe I'll go, but I never watch a baseball game, so maybe it would be a good first-time experience.
There you go. All right, Motias Krivas. I was trying to push him on the Cubs there. He's like, if you're going to go to Chicago, Motias, you got to go and see a Cubs game there and get you some American baseball in a really nice setting. I think Motias would like. I think he would like American baseball. He seems like maybe that kind of guy.
Seems like a guy who likes Ivy.
There you go. That too. All right, we caught up with some more fans earlier today as well.
We actually have a caller on real quick.
Oh, that's right, we do. So we'll get you that in the second segment. Let's go to T-Money. You're on Radio DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290. I'm so used to talking to T-Money on the postgame show.
Hey, DK, great show, man. You're doing this from Indy. Is this like a long distance call for me? Do I have to get in charge for this?
No, you're not. You're
We'll cover it. It's fine.
That's great. Hey, no, great show. I love what you're doing, and thank you for your service to this community. Hey, man, Tucson's great. Everybody I talked to today is just like sigh of relief. This has been kind of nerve-wracking. Not only are the Cats back in the Final Four, but, oh, yeah, we're going to lose our coach to Mike Jordan. So this news came out at the right time. It could have been a huge roadblock, but it's going to turn into a ramp. I think they're going to mentally do some mental what's the name of our building again? What's it? Alchemy. We're going to do some mental alchemy and turn this thing into something good.
Mental Alchemy, man. You just named the next band, or so that's a band name for there for sure.
That was 1993, yeah, MTV. No, it's one of those things where I don't know what happened, what was behind the scenes, what went on, and I feel kind of embarrassed, like our family business was put out in the street kind of thing, but it had to happen, and it happened, and we're moving forward. And I forgot where I was going with this, man. I'm just stoked. You know what? I met Evan Nelson's grandparents today. What a Tucson thing to say.
Oh, wow.
People. All right. Yeah. Bear down. Go Cats, man. Have a fun time out there. And I'll talk to you guys when you get back Tuesday after the national championship after we win this thing. Bear
All
down,
right. Thank you, T-Money.
Bear down, T-Money.
Appreciate it, brother. 520-848-1290. Yeah, Evan Nelson, his whole family is here. I don't think his grandparent. He said his grandmom did not make the trip, but I know she is back. His mom, dad, sisters, they're all here. But I know his grandma, who's is absolutely his biggest fan. She was at all the games growing up. She was at all the games at South Point Catholic. You would always see her there at those games, and I know she is as proud as anybody that he has had an opportunity to come home, be a part of this team, and get to a Final Four to cap off his college career. So I know she'll be watching big time tomorrow for sure. All right, 520-848-1290. We got one more segment to go. We'll get you your Casino del Sol replay. We'll let you hear from some more fans that were here today. Another father and son combo who drove all the way from Fargo, North Dakota to see their Wildcats in the Final Four. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. A collision reported up north, McGee and La Cañada and McGee, slowing at the intersection. Really heavy northbound backups, northbound on La Cañada at McGee. Some slowdowns for eastbound I-10 approaching Emperita Road. We've got construction restrictions and a reduced speed limit. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
Who says vaping is safer than cigarettes? Science does not support that belief. Vapes can contain a variety of chemicals, flavoring agents, cancer-causing elements, and other harmful substances. High levels of nicotine in some vapes can be more likely to lead to addiction, and chemical ingredients are not always listed accurately on vaping packages. Vaping can also damage your DNA, your heart, your lungs, and even your smile. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
Sponsored by Underwriters Laboratories.
Progressive presents Heroes That Keep Truckers Going. Today's hero, all the furry four-legged co-pilots out there. Pets like Axel, Bandit, and Smokey, who may not understand humans but do listen to you rant about young people today for hours. Thanks, heroes. Know what else keeps safe truckers going? Saving an average of $6,181 when they elect to share their ELD data with us. Get a quote at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. 2025 National Average Safe Driver Enrollment Discount Savings for new Progressive customers. Excludes mandatory program participants. Not available in all states. Driving data could increase or decrease premiums at renewal.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
You are listening to the home of your University of Arizona Wildcats.
Koa Pete, how many times in that game was he able to get a putback? I'm watching the one right now where he went left hand, put back right hand.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
The follow missed by Pete, but the second tip in by Koa Pete is good.
What athleticism by Koa Pete, that second jump there.
That one alone to finish it was about as impressive as you'll want to see.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old.
Nice
She didn't
promo. I
have
like
life
that one.
insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today.
520-200-1600. That's 520-200-1600.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Morning begins in the Rincon foothills. Rocking K, a master-planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders, move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature. A community by design.
Top of the morning to you. You don't need the look of the Irish or a little leprechaun to protect your home from rodents, weeds, pests and termites. Let Weedco protect your home from things that don't belong, so you can focus on the ones that do. Call Weedco at 549-1390 or visit weedco.services today.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Anthony Edwards missed last night's game and is now ineligible for any NBA awards. This has to be one of the worst rules the NBA has implemented in a long time, and it needs to change soon. When the conversation isn't about stats and play and turns to counting games, that's a problem. I'm Adam O'Donnell.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked.
About 10 seconds.
The next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm happy to announce I'm staying at Arizona. You know.
All right, closing down Radio Row here, and pregame show coming up at 2:30. So join us for that. Tommy Lloyd staying. That's always a great thing. Now, CBS Sports' Matt Norlander did report today that one of the things about this contract is that Tommy Lloyd will no longer be reporting to Athletic Director Desiree Reed-Francois. We've not confirmed that that's part of the deal, but that is at least what Matt Norlander is reporting today in terms of the structure of Tommy Lloyd's new extension that puts him, as Matt Norlander reports, in the top 2 of contracts in all of college basketball. So there you go. Wildcats playing with the big boys and giving out some big boy money to keep their head coach, who has this team back in the Final Four for the first time in 25 years. All right, I want to get in because I mentioned one of the things I've talked about all week is the three-point shot by Anthony Del Orso last week in the game to beat Purdue, and just kind of one of the things that I took away from it was just a little small thing. Like I think J-Dub categorized it yesterday as a winning play by Jaden Bradley, who got the assist on that basket and then set a screen on Fletcher Lawyer that cleared an open look for Anthony Del Orso. Let's hear from Deli on that and a number of things. We had a chance to catch up with him. It is your Casino Del Sol replay.
The Casino Del Sol replay is brought to you by
You want Deli first?
Yep.
Okay.
award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
I really wanted to hear someone had mentioned it to me. I didn't know that we were actually wearing those jerseys. I don't know a whole lot about the '97, team and what that was like. I just know it was in Indy. I know the stories of what Tucson was like after the fact, and we'd love to bring it back to Tucson just to see the atmosphere there.
How did it feel to be out here this week? I know Tommy was saying you want to treat it like you're a participant in a different deal, but still a lot going on. How does it?
Yeah, it feels great, seeing it all and kind of embracing it. But yeah, like Coach said, we got to kind of dial back into being the player and not being the fan. We got a business to attend to. We really got to focus in because it's a great team. If we're not on our P's and Q's, they could really jump us, and vice versa for them. So either way, it'll be a good game. Two deserving teams, and yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, it seems like all years, and you guys are Michigan Duke, of course. But did you ever flip them on just to see what they look like, just casually during the season?
Yeah, I think with a team high level like them, they're always kind of on the TV. We watch plenty of teams throughout. We do a great job on film, and coaches do a great job in scouting and stuff. So we kind of get a little inside scoop of kind of what we think of them early on, and then now we kind of dive into the finer details.
When you hit that three last week, were you aware that Jaden kind of threw a screen for you to keep Fletcher Lawyer off you on that shot?
No, I actually. It was kind of a blackout moment. I kind of just stepped in and was like thinking, the ball's going to come, and it found me. I knew I was going to be open because, transition, they're trying to protect the paint, so I knew the three was going to be open. He kind of flipped it to me, and I just shot it, and that was it.
I don't even know if that's something that you guys drill on. Like if a guard is in transition, you kick it to a guy. If you can screen the defender away at all, is that anything you guys drill it on practice?
I think it's just IQ play. You can't really teach that or script that. It's just like a flow of the game. We had a great defensive possession leading that. Got the steal, kind of pushed it, and that's just kind of what the defense was. And JB flipped it, made a good IQ play. I think that's just smart to the game. I don't think any person can script that.
What did you see was just kind of the key in that second half that allowed you guys just to kind of open it up?
I think we just got even more aggressive. We kind of calmed down a little bit from the first half, worrying about the result and what it could mean. I think we just came out in the second half and played normal. I don't think we played better than we ever have. I don't think we played, more physical or anything like that. I think we just played a normal game and kind of got back to making the right play for each other. And we got wide open looks and we had to knock them down.
Tommy talked about, letting you guys kind of have a few minutes to yourself in the locker room. How would you describe what went on in those few minutes?
Yeah, it was a lot of positive talk. I never had any doubt. I don't think anyone had any doubt we weren't going to win. We had nothing to lose. That was my message to the team. We got nothing to be afraid of, nothing to play scared for no reason. It's just another basketball.
All right, coming back.
And the guys came out great. The guys came out aggressive. They played normal, made extra passes, and guys found good shots, and we knocked them down.
All right, that was Anthony Del Orso at the Open Locker Room on Thursday. And so let's now hear from Jaden Bradley and get his side of that play, that three last week against Purdue.
Admire all those guys come back and just give back to us and just know the history that came before you. So appreciate those guys for always giving us nuggets and advice.
Your teammates said we weren't part of the drought, but we felt what it meant to end it when we got back to Arizona. How much did you see that?
For sure. I've been here for Arizona for 3 years, so I've been to 2 Sweet 16s with Coach Lloyd. I'm just happy for him to, just get through that in this Arizona program and, for the fans in Tucson to just get back to the Final Four. We want to do everything we can to, win this thing.
What does that seem like? What was campus like? What was all
yeah.
like?
So, we got back, and there was a lot of people there to celebrate with us, and, we got to dap people up and, sign autographs. So it was a great moment for Tucson and their fans, and, we couldn't do it without them.
You guys are in a pretty unique situation to be at the Final Four where the coach that people are talking about as a top candidate for somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, how do you focus on this and not think about that?
No, for sure. It's definitely, we always talk about being in the moment. And I feel like, as a program and, how the way college basketball is going right now, you do your job and, other people are going to get rewarded for it. So, whether they do what they want to do after this, other coaches getting different jobs and stuff, we're not worried about that. But, as you keep winning, people are going to, get rewarded.
So no Arizona team's won the title since '97, and no team west of the Mississippi's won it since then.
Yeah.
Any reason why you think that is, and what would it mean to the school if Arizona could win it?
No, I don't think it's a reason. It's just been some great teams in college basketball from all different parts and all different teams. But I feel like we want to kind of break that that little that little drought. And we want to do everything we can, and it's going to start with game one.
Jaden, when you set up Delhi for that three last week, you kind of screened Lawyer there at the last minute. How often have you done that, where you make a pass and set a screen like that on the same play?
That's kind of some open gym. They could have called a legal screen, but I'm just happy, super excited for Delhi in that moment. I feel like that was a game changer three transition. Delhi is one of our shooters, so to see one going early for him, that's key.
Have you ever done anything like that in a game before?
Yeah, actually, I had like a little. Was that I think it was the same game. I had a little duck in screen. It wasn't for a three, but it's for a layup. That's some of our bigs do. It's called a gurtat or a little screen like that. So just mixing up some of those. Gurtat. It's like for the Wizards, the big man. He kind of like screens his own man and create a lane. So.
What did it mean to you to see Braden dive on the floor last week to get that play to Yvonne?
That was big. It's something not all players want to do, especially on the hardwood. You don't want to, get a hold in your tights or anything. But, Braden, for him to do that, it just creates momentum for the whole team and energy, knowing that he's willing to give it up for the team.
What's it like the first 24 hours here in Indianapolis? What's it been like?
Man, it's great. Just taking everything in, but just knowing that we're here for one goal and, that's, get game one on our belt and, try to get the win.
How do you feel about the workout out there today?
Man, I felt great about our practice, putting in a game plan, just feeling the court, getting used to the basketballs and the rim. So, very excited.
This is one of the few teams that's got as much size as you guys do. And you guys pound people. Everybody knows you like to pound the points in the paint. So how do you look up at is this matchup kind of the matchup of the bigs?
Yeah, it's going to be a matchup of the bigs. We're going to have to help our bigs guards. I feel like it's a matchup, with everybody. Bench players, it's going to be very exciting. Like you said, they're a big team. We're a big team. So it's going to be a great battle, and I'm excited.
How does this team stay so grounded? You seem like you're having fun, but yet it's like business. So how do you guys maintain that?
I feel like Coach Lloyd does a great job of, when we're on practice, it's business-like, but we're in the locker room and stuff. Like, you see our guys playing 2K over there, having fun. I don't know who's winning, but, but it's exciting times, just being a moment. But as soon as we step between the lines, we know it's business.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, so Marcin Gortat is rubbing off on
That's one of
the
Dragon Ball's
Wildcats.
favorite Phoenix Suns players.
One of the few bright spots in those early 2010s. Had a double-double average when he was in that squad for the 2011-2012 season. I miss me some Marcin Gortat.
Oh,
that was a
man.
good, fun little player to watch. Not that little, though. He was almost 7 foot, but still. Not a lot of good players on the 2010-2011 Suns.
Oh, great stuff there. Great stuff there from the captain, Jaden Bradley. All right, that's going to pretty much close out this particular show. Let's just remind you of everything we've got coming up for you. Arizona baseball is straight ahead here at the top of the hour. The Wildcats and the Sun Devils, game 2 of a 3-game series. U of A has lost 5 straight, and they are trying to get off of that schneid and get back going in the Big 12. They are 2-8 right now, tied for 14th place. They've got to get into the top 12 if they want to have a chance to win
Aren't
or
there
at least
14
get into the Big
teams?
12. 14 teams, yes. They're in 14th place out of 14 teams.
Tied for 13.
Yeah. Also, want to update you real quick. Obviously, a women's Final Four is happening up in Phoenix right now, 3 minutes, less than 4 minutes to go in the game. South Carolina leading UConn 53-47. UConn beat South Carolina last year to win the national championship. It's a semifinal game this year, and right now the Gamecocks are on top of Geno and the Huskies by 6. Texas and UCLA will play in the other semifinal. We will carry the women's final on Sunday right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. So you have men's semifinal on Saturday, women's final on Sunday, hopefully men's final on Monday. Right
And
here
what-
on Wildcats Radio 1290.
And also early next week, we'll get an in-depth review of how the women's game goes with Mr. Ryan Radke, who's planning to join us.
There you go. Yeah, Ryan Radke, the U of A grad, was on the Wildcats call last week up in San Jose. We'll call the women's Final Four on Westwood 1, so you'll hear him on that call Sunday right here. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day comes your way at 2:30 tomorrow from Lucas Oil Stadium. Myself, J.W. Madden, and Kelvin Ifan getting you set for the national semifinal between Arizona and Michigan. Thanks to everybody that joined us. Brian Bush from the University of Michigan on today's show. Brody Dryden as well. For J-Dub, for Dragon Ball, for Cricket, my name is David Kelly. That is our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We will talk to you tomorrow from the Final Four, national semifinal, Arizona and Michigan. Join us at 2:30. Have a great eve of the Final Four, everyone. Bear down. Go Cats.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center. It's your traffic on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Yep, we got Brody ready to go. Everything's clean, and we got
Food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you. You look like you were a million miles away. I've been reading this book. How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fussypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification. It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens. And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling? AlaskanAC.com. Schedule now.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
Bounce pass, a walk, a slam it home.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WELL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WELL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WELL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code WELL.
The road to a national championship continues at the Final Four. It's Arizona and Michigan on Saturday. Pre-game coverage begins at 2:30 with tip-off at 5:50 right here on your home for Arizona basketball. Wildcats Radio.